Chapter 1064 Prodigies Will Die Too. Chapter 1064 Prodigies will die too. Seeing that Yi Mo broke his binding with just one strike, Yuan Guanan was shocked. Before he could use another move, the countless purple sword rays already swept over. Thud, 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 the octagonal cauldron above his head spun rapidly and dissipated the sword chi. Yamo felt a strong repulsive power and took a few steps back. What cauldron was this? Its defensive capabilities were so strong. This was the first time he had encountered a cauldron so powerful. He could tell that the ancient spear was a low-grade cultivation artifact, but this cauldron, he couldn't even tell what level it was. Yuan Guanan was dazed at Yi Mo. In just a brief moment, he realized that Yi Mo was no ordinary nascent soul state level 4. If it wasn't for his octagonal cauldron, he would have had the lower hand in that bout. Which sect are you from? Yuan Guanan's eyes turned cold. He wasn't as confident and relaxed as he had been before. He didn't believe that Yi Mo was just a solo cultivator. How could a solo cultivator have such offensive power? He underestimated that kitchen knife before, but now he no longer dared to. If you want to fight, then fight. You talk too much. Yi Mo didn't want to hear Yuan Guanan talk. This was the Truthful Palace level 5, but there were still quite some cultivators here. If someone knew that he killed Yuan Guanan and he wasn't able to kill that person, his situation would be disastrous. So Yi Mo hacked out with Zi Su again. Illusion Cloud Division Strike, Illusion Cloud Formation Kill Strike. Yuan Guanan's cauldron's defensive power was too strong. If he didn't lock it down, it would be very hard for him to kill Yuan Guanan. Luckily, Yuan Guanan's spirit sense and cultivation essence weren't as powerful as his. He could only use the cauldron passively to defend and not attack. Otherwise, Yi Mo was sure that even if he was more powerful than Yuan Guanan, he wouldn't be able to kill him. That octagonal cauldron was good. Just as Yuan Guanan wanted his dimensional magic artifact, he also wanted the octagonal cauldron. Seeing Yi Mo attacking without saying anything, Yuan Guanan immediately knew that Yi Mo also had killing intent towards him. He couldn't care much now. The ancient spear made a buzzing sound and was released with strong killing intent. But this time, it wasn't to bind Yi Mo's cultivation essence, but to kill him. This time a rain dragon formed. It roared and descended from the heavens. Die. At this moment, the ancient spear smashed down like an ancient weapon of carnage with the roar of a dragon. The spear hacked open Zi Su's sword ray, but before it landed, it swept down with terrifying pressure. The spirit chi on the spear created sonic explosions in the air. The earth around Yi Mo cracked under the immense pressure. Zi Su and the spear clashed. The divided purple sword rays all shattered and dispersed. Rumble the explosion broke out between Yi Mo and Yuan Guanan. Yuan Guanan was sent flying by Yi Mo's powerful cultivation essence, but he didn't escape from Yi Mo's purple sword rays formation. Although the purple sword rays formation were weakened after that spear attack, they still locked the cauldron down temporarily. Yuan Guanan spat out a mouthful of blood and was very shocked. He had used his full power and was still at a disadvantage. He didn't think that a genius like him would lose to an unknown, minor figure. He really didn't want to accept this fact, but it was right in front of his eyes. Go, he had to go immediately. Who was this Ning Xiaoma? He was too powerful. Yuan Guanan wanted to kill Lu Mansheng, who was trying to retreat. But he knew that losing face was the least important thing right now. Even if word of him losing got out, he had to run first. But how could Yi Mo let Yuan Guanan go? If Yuan Guanan kept fighting him, he might need more effort to kill him. But since he wanted to run, he was unlucky. Zi Su flashed, an illusion cloud whirlpool strike was used. Countless spinning, eddy purple sword rays surrounded Yuan Guanan again. He was very shaken, but no matter how he used the cauldron, it was surrounded by countless seemingly alive sword rays and couldn't break free. No way. Yuan Guanan felt that even body condensation state cultivators couldn't control sword rays that hacked out so accurately. What sword technique was this? But Yuan Guanan knew now wasn't the time to be thinking about it. He took out a rune, and it immediately turned into a huge black shield. Yimo's eddy sword ray hit the shield and dissipated, while the shield only became a little paler. Yi Mo frowned. It was a level 7 defense iron rune. This Yuan Guanan had quite a lot of things. Lu Manxiang saw Yuan Guanan have the lower hand and knew that Yuan Guanan was no match for Yi Mo. She thought the two would need to fight longer to determining a winner, but it was decided so quickly. She retreated slowly, trying to slip away, but she only went 30 meters before she was killed by a sword ray that suddenly appeared. Even in her death, she didn't believe that Yi Mo was this cruel. She offered to give her body to him, yet he was still willing to kill a woman as pretty as her. Yuan Guanan saw that Yi Mo could even spare the effort to kill Lu Manxiang while fighting with him and felt even more concerned. He turned to run immediately, giving up the octagonal cauldron. He regretted coming to find Yi Mo by himself. Just at this moment, he felt he was ambushed by something. Before he could figure it out, Yi Mo's purple sword rays came again. With a crack, the level 7 defense rune broke. Yi Mo didn't want to waste too much time, and he had to kill him with certainty, so he called Shadowless. After Yi Mo burned the bodies, he picked up the storage rings. The cow beast was nowhere to be seen. Clearly he knew that he was no match for the cultivators here. Yi Mo picked up the Miss G lands and put the storage ring as well as the octagonal cauldron into the Golden Page world before leaving immediately. Even though he was 10,000 kilometers away, he still didn't dare to look at the storage ring he took from Yuan Guanan. This was too serious. He didn't want anyone to notice it. If they did, he would be done for. Although Yi Mo really didn't want to mess with these 9-star sect disciples. If they came up to him, he wasn't going to beg for mercy. Wen Tsai frowned, looking at the direction Yuan Guanan left. When he left, he told her to wait for 15 minutes, but now it had been 6 hours and he still wasn't back. She was getting impatient and took out a messenger flying sword. But as soon as she released it, it burned up. Wen Tsai was shaken. There were only 2 possible reasons for this. One was Yuan Guanan was too far, and the messenger flying sword couldn't reach him. The other was that Yuan Guanan had died. Yuan Guanan had only been gone for 6 hours. He couldn't be too far away. The only possibility was that he had died. Thinking about this, Wen Tsai began to worry. Yuan Guanan was the most prominent disciple in the young generation of Infinity Sect. He could quite possibly have become the future Infinity Sect leader. If he died here, the Infinity Sect would go crazy. The Truthfall Palace was dangerous. But if Yuan Guanan lived through the Forbidden Grounds, how could he die here, other than the few hollow spirit state cultivators? There was barely anyone who could kill Yuan Guanan. Plus, who would dare to kill him? Chapter 1065. Smart, Ugly Woman. Chapter 1065. Smart, Ugly Woman. Although there were a lot of spirit herbs on level 5, Yi Mo didn't stay here because he killed Yuan Guanan. He quickly went to the level 6 stairway. Even though this level of carefulness was extra, he still chose to do this as he had an extreme sense of discomfort ever since he killed Yuan Guanan. But he couldn't tell what it was. Yi Mo was very careful. He arrived at the stairway and carefully scanned it with his spirit sense and saw there were no cultivators before he went up the stairway. Yi Mo thought that it would just be a little bit harder than level 5, but wouldn't be very hard for him. But he was only halfway up when he felt it was hard to breathe. It was as though he would be pushed back at any time. Yi Mo was shocked because he knew he couldn't turn back at this moment no matter what. If he turned back, there would never be Yi Mo in this world again. He would be crushed to nothingness. The reason Truthfall Palace lost so many cultivators was because once you got on the stairs, you couldn't turn back. If you turned back, you would die for sure. Of course, if you couldn't handle the pressure, you would end up dead as well. From level 1 to level 3, Yemo got up without using cultivation essence. As for level 4, he was passed up by the forbidden grounds. For level 5, he used some cultivation essence, but it wasn't too hard. He didn't expect level 6 would be this difficult to ascend to. With every step, Yemo could feel an extremely powerful pressure. Not only was his body tortured, but so was his mental state. No wonder there were so few cultivators at level 6. Yemo had to use his spirit sense to defend against the mental pressure. Ordinary cultivators wouldn't be able to defend against such powerful spirit pressure, even if they had powerful cultivation essence. Even though Yemo's spirit sense was around nascent soul state level 9, he was beginning to be unable to bear it. At this moment, he could still defend with his cultivation essence against the physical pressure, but the mental pressure was almost making him spit blood. However, that pressure was stuck at his chest as though waiting to explode once he couldn't take it anymore. Yemo was shocked at this level of danger. He didn't have any other way but to defend against it with all his power. Yemo saw that about 13 steps ahead, there was another cultivator struggling. Yemo finally found some comfort. After all, he wasn't the only one struggling here. But Yemo counted about 200 more stairs. He didn't know how to reach level 6. He estimated that he wouldn't be able to last more than 50 stairs before being crushed to death. He had overestimated himself. Yemo thought it was no wonder rarely anyone got to level 7. Just level 6 was already this unbearable. Suddenly, the cultivator ahead howled, and afterwards the figure became faster and immediately disappeared in front of him. Yemo was more shocked. Did the steps get easier afterwards? Thinking about this, Yemo forced his way up 13 stairs, and all he saw was some blood stains. Seeing this, Yemo realized that the cultivator spat out the blood that was stuck in his chest and was able to go faster. Yemo had blood stuck at his chest, but he couldn't spit it out. He wanted to ask the guy ahead how he spat it out, but perhaps he was already at level 6. The mental pressure increased, and Yemo's chest was flushed with blood. Even his head felt a little dizzy, but he just couldn't spit the blood out. When he felt he couldn't take it anymore, he used purple eye soul sever, wanting to sever off the mental pressure around him. If that didn't work, Yemo was planning to go into the golden page world. Otherwise, he would be crushed to death. When Yemo used purple eye soul sever, he felt his chest lighten as he spat the blood out. Before he could rejoice, he felt climbing the stairs became much easier. Yemo checked his body. It was fine, and his spirit sense seemed to have progressed a little. Yemo understood this was the trick and sped off. He kept using purple eye soul sever at the same time. It was taxing on his spirit sense, but when he realized that using purple eye soul sever on the stairway was beneficial to his spirit sense growth, he didn't care anymore. Spirit sense was the hardest to improve. Yemo knew that even if he didn't use purple eye soul sever now, he would be able to reach level 6 after spitting the blood out. But this was a rare opportunity to refine his spirit sense. Yemo walked up the remaining 200 steps without feeling any difficulty. He found spirit chi denser than level 5 here. Yemo even just wanted to sit down and cultivate, but he immediately took a few steps back. The cultivator who came before him hadn't left and was just staring at him from a distance, not far away. This was a nascent soul state level 9 and a female cultivator too. She was rather ugly. One eye was big and one eye small. Even her lips didn't match. The top lip was thinner and the bottom lip thicker. The only good thing about her was her skin. It was very white. Her body was decent too. Yemo used his spirit sense and checked her carefully. She didn't wear a mask, but her power was nascent soul state level 9. The female cultivator didn't get angry seeing Yemo study her. She just watched Yemo quietly, not feeling uncomfortable at people studying her ugly features. "You're waiting for me?" Yemo didn't feel any ill intent from this female cultivator. The female cultivator nodded. "You're very good. You have a spirit sense cultivation method and used that to get to level 6. You know what method I used." Yi-Mo stared at this woman with uncertainty. He had never told anyone about his purple eye-soul sever. How did this woman know about it? The female cultivator said, "It's because I realized on the 481st stair that if you want to enter the Truthful Palace level 6, other than using your spirit sense to defend against the pressure and spit out the extra blood, you can also use your cultivation essence to sever the pressure and spit out the blood. With your nascent soul state level 4 power, clearly you can't do that with cultivation essence, so you could have only used spirit sense." Yi-Mo heard her analysis and was dazed. He made it up, but he never bothered to think about how he did it. This female cultivator not only made it up, but also concluded the method used. She was this smart. This was the first time he had met a female cultivator so smart. Wait, did she stay here just to tell him she was smart? "I'm not staying here to tell you. I'm very smart. I have some other business with you." The female cultivator seemed to know what he was thinking and said. Yi-Mo saw that the female cultivator even knew what he was thinking, so he just didn't talk at all. The female cultivator wasn't unhappy because of this and said, "This isn't a good place to talk. Come with me." Then she just got on her flying sword and left. Even though she was nascent soul state level 9, Yi-Mo wasn't afraid of her and chased after her. 15 minutes later, they came to a deserted place. Then she told Yi-Mo, "I came here to save your life and make a deal with you." Yi-Mo frowned. How did he need her to save him? The female cultivator wasn't surprised at Yi-Mo's frown and said straight up, "Because you killed the core disciple of a 9-star sect. Other than me, no one here can save you. If I'm not wrong, the person you killed was Yuan Guanan." Yi-Mo was greatly shocked. He was sure that no one other him knew about Yuan Guanan's death. How did she know? Was she hiding on the side and watching? If that was the case, he couldn't let her live. The female cultivator saw Yi-Mo's expression and shook her head. "It's useless even if you kill me. As soon as you leave, people would still find out you killed the 9-star sect's core disciple. Plus, would you be able to kill me?" Chapter 1066, Soul Mark? Chapter 1066. Soul Mark. Yi-Mo calmed down and found that ever since he met this female cultivator, she had been the one dominating the conversation. Yuan Guanan was a mere nascent soul state level 5. He's only ranked about 200 on the nascent soul state trial tablet. "It's no wonder you can kill him since you can come to level 6, the female cultivator said calmly. "How do you know I killed Yuan Guanan?" Yi-Mo asked. There was no point hiding it anymore. He had been recognized by Yuan Guanan before, even though he chased a few faces. Yi-Mo no longer had his original confidence in his stealth. The female cultivator said slowly, "Most core disciples of 8-star and 9-star sects have a soul mark. Anyone who kills these core disciples have the soul mark transferred to them. It won't disappear for a few years, and cultivators above body condensation state are able to see it. You have one on you, that's very clear. Clearly, you killed a 9-star sect core disciple not long ago. There aren't a lot of those 9-star sect disciples who can come to level 5. Yuan Guanan is one of those people who look gentlemanly on the outside, but is acutely a vengeful spirit. If he wants to kill someone, he wouldn't get help. He would try to kill that person, secretly. I think you must have offended him and he came to kill you, but you ended up killing him instead." Hearing this, Yi-Mo was very shocked. He couldn't help but to admire this woman's mind. She was too smart. It was as though she had seen what happened with her own eyes. But Yi-Mo didn't show this on his face. He didn't deny nor accept. "Since you say that those at body condensation state or above can see the mark, how can you see it?" The female cultivator seemed to know Yi-Mo would ask this and smiled before taking out a mirror and throwing it to Yi-Mo. "Because I have this. It's called Extreme Mirror. It can see souls that neither the eye nor the spirit sense can see. It can also see through all mask magic artifacts." Yi-Mo took the mirror and shined at it himself casually. He was immediately shocked. He not only saw a faint shadow on his back, but also saw his real face. Yi Mo didn't know if the mirror could see through stealth sand, but he lost more confidence in stealth mask magic artifacts, especially that ghost-like mark. He didn't notice it with spirit sense at all. A 9-star sect was indeed powerful. You can help me remove it? Yi Mo asked without giving the mirror back. He calmed down instead of worrying. The female cultivator looked at Yi Mo with approval and said, I don't have a way to remove it, but I can help you cover it. Only truth realization states would be able to see through it. Those below truth realization state won't be able to tell for sure. Yi Mo shook his head. If truth realization states could see through it, there was no point asking her to hide it. Who knew if there would be truth realization states when the Truthfall Palace's time ended? When he killed Tian Alfing, there were truth realization state cultivators going to South Peace City. Who knew what they would do for Yuan Guanan? Yi Mo wanted to try to burn the soul mark away with his heaven flame, but he couldn't try in front of her. He thought for a while before asking, can this mark only be marked on nascent soul state cultivators, but not golden core state cultivators? You're right, this soul mark can only mark cultivators with essence spirit. Golden core state cultivators don't have a nascent soul, so they have no essence spirit. Then the female cultivator paused before looking at Yi Mo and smiling. It seems you're quite bold. You probably killed Tian Alfing as well, right? The Lightning Cloud sect is still not over their wrath, and now you challenge the Infinity sect. It's a miracle you could live until now. Yi Mo was speechless. This woman was too smart. He just asked a casual question, and she guessed that he killed Tian Alfing. But Yi Mo didn't bother arguing. Killing too didn't make his situation that much worse. Seeing Yi Mo fall silent, the female cultivator didn't keep stabbing Yi Mo with words. She said, you were able to come up to level 6, meaning that you have a way to sever the mental pressure. My request is simple. I have this method as well, but I know that I won't be able to get to level 7 myself. I need your help. The payment is that I can help you hide the soul mark. Yi Mo fell silent for a while and said, okay, but I can't stay with you. 5 days later, let's meet at the stairway to level 7. But I need to borrow your mirror for a few days. I might not need you to help me hide the soul mark. I just need you to help me get an identity after I get out. The female cultivator looked at Yi Mo in shock and said after a while, you want to remove it yourself? That's impossible. But if you want an identity, that's very easy. I can do it for you at any time. Okay, we'll do that. Yi Mo agreed without hesitation. The female cultivator said, I'm Jing Ingli, remember it? I'm Yi Mo. Yi Mo didn't need to hide his real name. Then, Yi Mo seemed to have remembered something. I know 9-star sect abstruse sound sect has a Jing Ming. What's the relationship between you and her? Jing Ming was ranked 4th in the South Peace State 10 Beauties. Jing Ingli sneered. You're quite the player, but I think you shouldn't think about Jing Ming looking at you. Yi Mo finally felt her emotions now. She had been very calm ever since meeting him. But Yi Mo could clearly feel her sliver of anger and hatred upon hearing the name, Jing Ming. See you 5 days later. Yi Mo no longer any intention of talking with her and disappeared on Zisu. Seeing this, Jing Ingli left in another direction. Although her main target was Truthfall Palace level 7, level 6 had a lot of good stuff too. She would collect what she needed in these 5 days. After Yi Mo left Jing Ingli, he found a place to enter the Golden Page world. The first thing he did was to wear stealth sand and try it with the extreme mirror. It was indeed much higher level than the 9 transformations, but there were still signs. If he didn't look carefully, it would be hard to see through. This mirror was obviously no ordinary thing, but Jing Ingli was willing to lend it to someone she didn't even know. From this, it was obvious that Truthfall Palace level 7 was really important to her. Yi Mo put away the extreme mirror and used his spirit sense to his fullest capability. He checked around his body very carefully again and again. He had to give the mirror back eventually, but if he couldn't find the soul mark and it remained planted on him, what would he do? After tens of times, he finally found a faint shadow behind his back. That was probably the soul mark. Yi Mo released the mist lotus heart fire, and under the scorching heat of the heaven, it seemed to be dimming, but not very fast. Yi Mo cursed. What was this? Even the heaven flame couldn't burn it. So he took out the purple flower fire and the snow essence fire. Under the attack of 3 rare flames, that shadow finally screamed and disappeared. Yi Mo took the extreme mirror and looked at himself again. There was no longer the shadow of the soul mark. Finally, he breathed easy. This Jing Ingli really helped him. If it wasn't for her, as soon as he went out, he would be killed by body condensation state cultivators without even knowing why. Yi Mo felt much more comfortable without the soul mark, and the discomfort after killing Yuan Guannan disappeared. Yi Mo opened up the storage rings in his joy. There were large amounts of spirit herbs and ores, clearly all picked up in the Truthful Palace, but now they were his. When Yi Mo opened Yuan Guannan's other storage ring, he was shocked to find it was a spirit beast ring. He broke through the restriction easily and found that there was a cute fox inside. Snow fur fox. Yi Mo blurted out. Was this the snow fox he saw in the Nei mountain ranges? How did it come here and become a level 5 spirit beast? Chapter 1067 Madman. Chapter 1067 Madman the Snow Fur Fox was more specifically a spirit-seeking fox. It was a type of spirit-seeking beast. This fox could easily find the source of spirit items and was very sensitive to spirit items and spirit chi. However, this snow fur fox just looked at Yi Mo with terror, making him unable to judge if this fox was the same one he saw in the Nei snow mountains. Yi Mo casually put on the ground and said, "Go play yourself, but don't touch the spirit herbs, otherwise I will kill you." He believed that a level 5 spirit beast would be able to understand his words. That snow fur fox nodded indeed, but hesitated and didn't leave. Yi Mo picked it up again and searched the body with his spirit sense. It was a level 5 spirit beast, but it didn't have any offensive capabilities. Its only ability was to find spirit items. Soon, Yi Mo found a restriction on the snow fur fox. Yuan Guannan probably put it there. Yi Mo was a level 5 formation master, and it didn't take him any trouble to remove the restriction. The snow fox used its spirit sense to joyfully express gratitude to Yi Mo and immediately ran off. The Golden Page world was much more comfortable than staying inside a spirit beast ring. This new owner let it roam free and removed its restriction. How could it not thank Yi Mo? That fox immediately ran to the bitter bamboo and stared at it. Its eyes were even about to bulge out. Clearly, it also knew how extraordinary this bitter bamboo was. It carefully walked to the bitter bamboo and sat down, closing its eyes as though feeling something. Yi Mo ignored the snow fox. He realized why Yuan Guannan could find him now. He was sure it was because of this snow fur fox. It was very sensitive to not only spirit chi, but also people's scent and cultivation essence waves. If the fox saw a person once, it would be able to discern that person no matter what sort of disguise that person had. Plus, when he used the mask magic artifact, he didn't use the 3 birth chant to intentionally hide his chi. Thinking about this, Yi Mo used his spirit sense to ask the fox. The fox was a level 5 spirit beast, but its intelligence was still low. It could only express some simple emotions. When Yi Mo asked if it came from Nei snow mountains, it was completely lost and didn't know what was going on. Yi Mo waved his hand for the fox to leave. Since he figured out how Yuan Guannan recognized him, he didn't need to worry anymore. He casually opened a storage ring and found there were large amounts of spirit herbs and ores. The spirit herbs Yuan Guannan collected were more than the combined amount of Yi Mo and the other people. One could see how much of a help the snow fox was. What made Yi Mo happy was that he found a seasoned wheat and tiger blood ji in the storage ring. With one being here, Yemo easily correlated the other one to be with Winsai, but he was fine with it. Both spirit herbs were the main ingredients for the hollow meridian pill. If he could get another hollow seed fruit, then he would be able to concoct the hollow meridian pills immediately. To Yemo, although he was only nascent soul state level 4, he still needed to prepare for the hollow meridian pills. He couldn't wait till he reached nascent soul state level 9 and went to go find the materials for the pill. He needed to cultivate faster and faster. He collected the spirit herbs and materials and planted them in the golden page world. Then Yemo picked up that octagonal cauldron. As for the ancient spear, Yemo ignored it. He didn't like this magic artifact, and he couldn't use it anyways. He would find an opportunity to sell it. Yuan Guanan clearly didn't spirit control that octagonal cauldron. He had only left a spirit sense mark. Yemo's spirit sense invaded that cauldron and immediately felt the spirit sense mark Yuan Guanan had left behind. What shocked Yemo was that the spirit sense mark hadn't been left for long, meaning that he had recently acquired this cauldron. Yemo felt that this spirit sense mark was no longer than a month old, meaning that he got this cauldron in the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds. This guy was quite lucky. Yemo felt this cauldron was not ordinary, at least on par with the 9-color lotus in terms of value. Yemo immediately removed Yuan Guanan's spirit sense mark and started to spirit control this cauldron. He spent about 2 days and only managed to spirit control the first level of restrictions. He didn't even know how many levels of restrictions this cauldron had. Was it like the Shun known cauldron as well? Although he could freely use the Shun known cauldron, Yemo felt that he didn't completely control it. But no matter how he spirit controlled it, he didn't have any idea. But 2 days later, Yemo felt that his control of this cauldron was greater than Yuan Guanan. After all, he spirit controlled the first level of restriction when Yuan Guanan only made a spirit sense mark. On the 3rd day, Yemo didn't keep staying in the golden page world and walked around, finding spirit herbs everywhere. In the following 2 days, Yemo found tens of level 6 spirit herbs and a few level 7 spirit herbs. He collected more than 10 beast cores, but most were level 6. As for level 7 spirit beasts, Yemo would walk away immediately if he encountered them, as long as he didn't piss off level 7 spirit beast. Usually they wouldn't keep chasing him. At the same time, there weren't a lot of level 7 spirit beasts at level 6 of Truthful Palace. On the 5th day, Yemo collected spirit herbs while searching for Jing Ingli at the staircase. But before he even got there, he felt a spirit chi rustle, and he saw Jing Ingli with messy hair charging over at him. Jing Ingli saw Yemo and didn't seem joyful. She said desperately to Yemo, "Hurry up and run to level 7. There's a level 7 lightning leopard chasing behind me." Lightning leopard? Yemo was shook. Even a peak level 6 lightning leopard was near hollow spirit state, primary stage, cultivator's level, much less one at level 7. Usually, cultivators were scared of lightning leopards the most, as they kept spewing lightning like a small, endless divine damnation. But Yemo wasn't afraid of it. He wasn't scared of lightning-style beasts or cultivators at all. "Hurry up and run." Jing Ingli saw that Yemo didn't go and threw out a few formation discs on the ground instead and continued. "Do you think your level 3 defense formation discs can stop the lightning leopard? Stop dreaming, we're out of time." Suddenly, a purple lightning bolt came to Yemo and Jing Ingli. Yemo ignored Jing Ingli and released Zisu. Countless purple sword rays flew out. Yemo said, "My armor was broken. This lightning leopard will give me a new armor." A good forgery master would be able to make the level 6 peak lightning leopard skin into a low-grade cultivation artifact, and it would be very strong, much less this level 7 primary stage. Even a middle-grade cultivation artifact wouldn't be impossible to craft. Madman! Jing Ingli cursed and could only release her magic artifact. At this moment, she finally realized why this guy dared to kill Yuan Guannan after killing Tian Aofing. This guy was an unreasonable madman. A level 7 primary stage spirit beast. This was equivalent to hollow spirit state, primary stage. Yet, this nascent soul state level 4 guy was talking about some armor in excitement. If it was some other level 7 spirit beast, Yemo would have already ran. But the lightning beast he didn't fear, since its main offensive ability was lightning strikes and lightning balls. The lightning leopard came over and roared, spitting out a few lightning balls. The space around here shook violently. Yemo even felt that his Zi-Su was about to be struck away from his hand. His countless purple sword rays immediately dissipated. Yemo was shook. He finally realized the power of the level 7 spirit beast. He had the complete lower hand before the fight even begun. If he didn't attack first, he might not even be able to retaliate. Chapter 1068 Crazy Battle. Chapter 1068 Crazy Battle. Not only so, the lightning ball that came over locked the space around Yemo, slowing him down. Now, Yemo realized that even if he wasn't scared of lightning, a level 7 spirit beast wasn't something he could stop. Luckily, Yemo had the octagonal cauldron, which he released. The cauldron immediately started spinning around Yemo, covering him with a powerful ray. Thud, 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 the lightning balls struck the cauldron and lightning splashed everywhere. Although the cauldron blocked a few lightning balls, Yemo spat a few mouthfuls of blood after the volatile cultivation essence inside the lightning ball made impact. Jing Yingli was shocked. She didn't think Yemo by himself was enough to block the furious strike of a lightning leopard. She wouldn't have been able to withstand that. But even just after that, this guy was heavily injured. Clearly, he overestimated himself. But that octagonal cauldron of his was quite a treasure. Obviously, Yemo couldn't completely spirit control it. Otherwise, he might really be able to deal with this lightning leopard. Seeing that his lightning orbs were stopped by a nascent soul state level 4 insect, the leopard roared thunderously as it spat out tens of lightning arcs. Yemo breathed easy. There were tens of lightning arcs, but they didn't pose as much threat as the lightning orbs. He quickly ate a few recovery pills and released Zi-Su again. Illusion Cloud Division Strike, Illusion Cloud Exert will strike, Illusion Cloud Formation Kill Strike. Yemo hacked out 3 strikes in such a short time, and countless purple sword rays spewed forth again. The purple sword rays seemed to be alive and formed waves of formation flags that trapped the spirit beast. Seeing this, Jing Yingli dazed. There was actually such a magnificent sword technique and such terrifying sword ray controlling means. What sword technique was this? But why didn't he use such powerful sword rays to block the lightning arcs, but to attack the lightning leopard instead? Although Jing Yingli didn't know why Yemo did this, she knew she couldn't keep watching. She howled again, and a white, jade-like flute appeared in her hands. With a wave of her hand, that flute was released, blazing a trail like a comet as it struck towards the lightning leopard. Yemo noticed this flute. He felt it was at least a low-grade cultivation artifact. Before it even reached the lightning leopard, it made a sharp sound. Even though it wasn't targeted at Yemo, Yemo felt his cultivation essence rustle about and his spirit sense become chaotic. Such a powerful sound tsunami. Even though it wasn't targeted at Yemo, Yemo felt so bad. The effect on the lightning leopard targeted by the flute could be imagined. The lightning leopard was immediately affected by it. Its eyes bulged and turned red as it roared. Countless lightning arcs struck towards Yemo and Jing Yingli. Jing Yingli was struck by a few lightning arcs and spat blood as she flew out. She looked at the lightning arcs attacking Yemo and saw there were more than she had been hit with. She sighed immediately. Yemo was dead for sure. She was hoping for him to help her with the stairs, but now it seemed she could only find a way herself. Just when Jing Yingli wanted to run off herself, she heard Yemo howl. At the same time, he reached out with his hand and started weaving hand signs. What shook Jingingly was that the lightning arc struck Yi-Mo and only made his armor splinter more. Yi-Mo himself only received minor injuries, but she felt Yi-Mo's power grow. At this moment, she finally felt she couldn't understand this Yi-Mo anymore. He was not only unafraid of the lightning arcs, but each time he was attacked his power grew. This was too unfathomable, but she knew that she shouldn't be thinking about that now. She was beginning to understand. No wonder Yi-Mo wasn't afraid of the lightning leopard. He could ignore the lightning arc attacks. With his octagonal cauldron, he might really be able to beat the lightning leopard. Understanding this, Jing-Ingli didn't try to run anymore. She relished her white flute and smashed at the lightning leopard with her full power. She also put up a round shield in front of her. In her eyes, Yi-Mo had the upper hand, but Yi-Mo was unable to speak of his trouble. Each lightning arc was no weaker than the black lightning on the World Mountain. Luckily, he already had experience defending against this in the World Mountain, or he wouldn't even be able to last the second round. No wonder Jingingli was so scared of this guy. It could indeed easily kill Jingingli. If he didn't have the cauldron, he would run as far as he could, but with the cauldron, he felt he still had chance for retaliation. A few more lightning orbs struck the cauldron, and Yi-Mo spat more blood. But his illusion cloud formation kill strike was becoming effective. There were more and more purple sword rays trapping the lightning leopard. The leopard could only roar as the lightning arcs he used were getting weaker and weaker. When Jing-Ingli released the flute again, the leopard shivered as though he was very uncomfortable. Then it suddenly howled and spat out tens of lightning orbs. Even Yi-Mo's skin had goosebumps when he was faced with this. The purple sword rays were immediately broken and turned into fireworks as they dissipated rapidly. The trap formation Yi-Mo had formed with his sword rays became messy. Even Yi-Mo couldn't control the sword rays anymore. More than 10 lightning orbs were heading towards him. He was spitting blood like crazy even when there weren't that much lightning orbs, but now he was sure he would get injured even more heavily. Yi-Mo quickly took back Zhi-Su and gathered all his cultivation essence as he hacked out. Zhi-Su turned into a purple ray that was 10 meters long in his hand. Thud, 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 Zhi-Su, and a few lightning orbs clashed together, making a heavy sound. Lightning orbs and purple rays scattered everywhere. The lightning orbs that weren't blocked by Zhi-Su struck the cauldron again. Yi-Mo spat 2 more mouthfuls of blood, and his face became pale. Yi-Mo was sure that he had never faced such a hideous battle where the difference in power was this great. Yi-Mo's face became pale with the loss of blood. However, Yi-Mo rejoiced, as the power of the lightning orb was clearly not as powerful as before. This meant that the leopard was either injured or at least had greatly depleted of energy. Yi-Mo used illusion cloud formation kill strike again and signaled Jingingli to keep attacking the beast. They were going to stall the leopard to death if they had to. Jing-Ingli saw Yi-Mo spitting blood again and couldn't help being amazed at this guy's tenacity. Usually, a cultivator would be looking to run if they were this badly beaten. But for Yi-Mo, the paler his face was, the more intense his battle intent. Jing-Ingli was speechless that Yi-Mo used the sword rays to trap the leopard again. It was already proven to not work, but it seemed Yi-Mo didn't have any other method. Jing-Ingli released the flute, planning to ambush the leopard. The flute emitted a sharp shriek. What surprised Jing-Ingli was that Yi-Mo didn't keep using his kitchen knife to attack. Instead, he kept spraying out formation flags. This guy knew formations too? Jing-Ingli looked at Yi-Mo in shock. Yi-Mo was younger than 100 years old. What formation could he set up in a rush? It would be at most level 3, fighting a level 7 beast with a level 3 formation. Jing-Ingli had to admit Yi-Mo was crazy. Yi-Mo's purple sword ray formation collapsed under the lightning orb attack again, and Yi-Mo's cauldron was struck once more. Yi Mo also spat out more blood, and his face turned paler. Chapter 1069 Black Lightning Arc. Chapter 1069 Black Lightning Arc. Jing Ingli saw Yi Mo was fighting with his life and shook her head speechlessly. She didn't choose to escape first. She believed that she would still have an opportunity to escape once Yi Mo was killed. This time, Jing Ingli didn't hold back. She shot a few sound arrows with her flute. The sound arrows seemed to have materialized and even turned into extremely fast white mist. It pierced the sword ray formation that was just crushed by the lightning leopard and hit it. The lightning leopard was dazed briefly, and in this time, Yi Mo used the illusion cloud formation kill strike right away. He threw out the formation flags even faster. The lightning leopard wasn't as fierce as before, but Jing Ingli knew that even if the lightning leopard stood still and let them attack it, they wouldn't be able to kill it quickly. She really didn't understand why Yi Mo had to kill this lightning leopard. If they ran away this time, Jing Ingli was sure that the lightning leopard wouldn't keep hunting. But she knew that Yi Mo wasn't going to leave like this after paying such a price. With the flute attack, this lightning leopard took nearly 8 minutes before hacking open Yi Mo's sword ray formation. But this time, Yi Mo didn't keep using the purple sword rays to trap the lightning leopard. He even took back the octagonal cauldron. Just when Jing Ingli still dazed, Yi Mo suddenly said to her, "Retreat!" Jing Ingli heard this and immediately retreated. She thought Yi Mo was planning to escape and was planning to mock him. But before she could talk, Yi Mo threw out a few more formation flags, as well as countless spirit stones. Suddenly, a formation appeared, trapping the lightning leopard. The leopard immediately realized that it was trapped and got very desperate. It started charging around everywhere, trying to break free, but the formation seemed very sturdy. The lightning leopard spent a long time and wasn't able to break free. In its desperation, it started spitting lightning orbs again, trying to break free. The lightning orbs struck the trap formation and had great effect, but every time one broke the trap formation a little, Yi Mo would repair it with a few formation flags. Seeing this, Jing Ingli looked at Yi Mo in shock and said in disbelief, "You've set up such a level 5 trap formation in such a short time. You're a level 5 formation great master?" Then she felt she was speaking the obvious. If Yi Mo wasn't a level 5 formation great master, how could he set up a level 5 formation? She sighed before Yi Mo could reply. A level 5 formation great master under 100 years of age. After a long while, she sighed. "I thought there were people smarter or more talented than me, but they were hard to encounter. But there really are such geniuses in the cultivation realm. A level 5 formation great master before 100 years. You're probably only about 30 to 40, right?" Yi Mo didn't answer. He didn't want to think about such pointless questions. If she knew that formations were just a side skill for him and his main skill, pill concoction, was level 4 pill king level, what would she be like? If she knew he was cultivating 8 elements at the same time, would she commit suicide? Another 15 minutes later, the lightning leopard was clearly out of energy. But Yi Mo didn't repair the formation anymore. He raised his hand and threw 2 lightning arcs inside. "You're a lightning element cultivator too?" Jing Ingli was dazed again. Lightning element cultivators were very rare, and they were the strongest in terms of battle power. She didn't understand that since Yi Mo was a lightning element cultivator, why did he only use the lightning arc now? Why didn't he use it before? But even Yi Mo was surprised with himself. He saw that the lightning he used was black. "Your lightning is black?" Jing Ingli also noticed this. After his initial shock, Yi Mo immediately realized that after he devoured the World Mountain's black lightning source, his lightning's color must have changed. Yi Mo nodded. "Although I'm not a lightning element cultivator, I also cultivate lightning style. You just use the Lightning Cloud Sex 11 lightning swords, but it's different. I suggest you don't use this everywhere or there could be really serious consequences, Jing Ingli reminded him. At this moment, Yi Mo appeared more and more mysterious in her eyes. He wasn't a pure element cultivator, but his speed was extremely fast, and he was a very powerful fighter too. She said before that even if Yi Mo wanted to kill her, he wouldn't be able to. Now, she didn't dare to think that. If Yi Mo fought with her, just that sword ray formation was already hard enough for her to break. She couldn't compare with the lightning leopard. If she was trapped and Yi Mo used that black lightning arc, she would be killed if she couldn't run away. Plus, this nascent soul state level 4 was a formation great master. If he got stronger, how could he fear a 9-star sect? Yi Mo wasn't going to use this in front of others, even without Jing Ingli's reminder. The reason he used this now was because it did the least harm to the lightning leopard skin. Jing Ingli was smart and knew why Yi Mo used the 11 lightning swords. She also helped Yi Mo attack with her flute. If Jing Ingli wasn't here, Yi Mo would think of Shadowless for help. But now that she was here, he didn't need to call out Shadowless. Who knew if they would fight in the future? Little did Yi Mo know that if he didn't fight with the lightning leopard and he had conflict with Jing Ingli, they might really fight. But because Jing Ingli saw this battle, she wouldn't fight with Yi Mo, at least not here. The level 7 lightning leopard couldn't even self-destruct its beast core and could only howl in pain before its death. Seeing that Yi Mo paid the price of heavy injury to kill the level 7 lightning leopard, she was very speechless. If she didn't see it with her own eyes, she would never believe a nascent soul state level 4 could kill a level 7 lightning leopard. Yi Mo put away the formation flags and looked at the lightning leopard in joy. This was a level 7 lightning leopard. Yi Mo could see a very good quality low-grade or even middle-grade cultivation artifact. He was injured, but it was worth it. When I saw this lightning leopard, it was fighting with another level 7 one-horned tiger. I wanted to wait until they were both injured, but the tiger ran off. The lightning leopard found me and vented its anger on me. I could only run. Luckily, I used you. Jing Ingli saw Yi Mo collect the lightning leopard's materials with great expertise and sighed. Yi Mo heard this and stopped his actions before asking in surprise, "You're saying before the lightning leopard fought with us, it had already fought with another level 7 beast for a long while?" Jing Ingli nodded. "Yes. Otherwise, I suppose that even if you used your formation and the purple sword rays, you might not be able to kill this lightning leopard." Yi Mo fell silent. He knew Jing Ingli was right. If the lightning leopard wasn't too exhausted from the fight before, his only option would be to run. His confidence had been inflated too much when he kept killing genius cultivators above his level. Yi Mo felt a sense of vigilance. If this continued, he would eventually pay a heavy price. "Oh, by the way, there's another level 7 hollow seed fruit there. Now that the lightning leopard is gone, let's go pick it." Jing Ingli saw Yi Mo fall silent and immediately remembered why she went to see the two beasts fight. Okay. Yi Mo collected the skin and tendons before giving Jing Ingli the beast core. "This is for you." Jing Ingli quickly rejected. "You almost single-handedly killed the lightning leopard. The beast core is the most valuable part of it. I can't take it." Yi Mo smiled. "Without you, I wouldn't have been able to kill the lightning leopard. Plus, I only need the skin to make a set of armor. As for other things, they're precious, but I don't mind. And thanks for saving my life. You can have the extreme mirror back." Jing Ingli was very smart, and she immediately realized that Yi Mo meant he already removed his soul mark. She casually shined the mirror at Yi Mo and saw there was no more shadow on Yi Mo's back. She was immediately shocked. "You removed the soul mark yourself? How did you do it?" Yi Mo smiled. He wasn't going to tell her he had the heaven flame. Chapter 1070. Pill City. Chapter 1070. Pill City. Jing Ingli smiled awkwardly. She felt she was impolite. How could he tell his trump card of removing the soul mark to her? But Jing Ingli felt this Yemo was not ordinary. She had seen many prodigal cultivators and felt she herself was a prodigy amongst prodigies, but never had a cultivator given her a feeling of immeasurable depth like Yemo. Jing Ingli took Yemo back to a very distant place, and Yemo saw a small hollow seed fruit tree. Yemo there was about 20 hollow seed fruits. They were like golden specks decorating the tree. It was beautiful. Yemo knew that once the hollow seed fruit matured, it was yellow on the outside and red on the inside. It was not only a level 7 spirit fruit, but it was also very delicious. Although Yemo never had it, it was clearly explained in the thing. But if that person wasn't crazy, he wouldn't eat the hollow seed fruit like a normal fruit. It was something that couldn't be bought, even with tens of millions of spirit stones. Why would someone eat it extravagantly like a fruit? But Yemo really had this idea. He wanted to plant this tree inside his golden page world and use it as Yemo's snack fruit. There are about 20 hollow seed fruits. We'll take 10 each. What do you think? Jing Ingli wouldn't ask this before the battle, but now she needed to do so. Yemo nodded. That's great. You pick first. I'll take the rest. Okay. Jing Ingli quickly flew up and picked 10 fruit. Yemo just wanted to pick his when his spirit sense noticed a cultivator flying over here rapidly. Yemo looked at the cultivator's expression and knew he wanted the hollow seed fruit too. Yemo sneered and released his flying sword before pulling the entire fruit tree up from the roots. Wait! A voice reached Yemo and Jing Ingli's ears. Yemo acted as though he didn't hear it and put the tree into the golden page world. Why would he wait when he got such good things? Was this guy's head rusting? Jing Ingli heard the cultivator's words and didn't care about them at all. If the cultivator who just came wasn't hollow spirit state, then she and Yemo didn't need to worry at all. But she didn't expect Yemo to be this crazy. He dug the entire tree away. At least leave something for people in the future. Marshall's sister, Ingli. The male cultivator's face didn't look good, but he still greeted Jing Ingli. Jing Ingli also recognized this person. She could only reply, "So it's Marshall Brother Qilin from Godwind Valley. Are you by yourself?" Qilin's face wasn't good. He scanned Yemo plainly before replying, "Yeah, I got separated from my Marshall sister, but I saw a hollow seed fruit tree here. But Marshall's sister arrived a step before me." Yemo saw this Qilin was prettier than a woman, but he scorned him in his heart. This guy clearly knew that he had split the hollow seed fruit with Jing Ingli and still brought it up. Did he want him to take them out? If he really did, then this guy was dreaming. Yemo also knew that Jing Ingli was reminding him that this guy came from 9-star sect Godwind Valley, and he shouldn't just do things casually. Jing Ingli also knew what Qilin was thinking, but she said politely to Qilin while mocking him inside, "Marshall Brother Qi will be leaving." Qilin saw this and quickly asked, "Wait, Marshall's sister Ingli, who is this?" Jing Ingli quickly said, "This is our abstruse sound sect's inner sect member. My father sent 3 inner sect members to protect me in the Truthful Palace. Now he's the only one." Then Jing Ingli's face seemed sad. Even Yemo had to admit her expression seemed too real. Since Jing Ingli said this, Qilin couldn't bring up the hollow seed fruit again. After all, they were from a 9-star sect too, and they got the hollow spirit fruit first. Why should they give it to him? If Yemo wasn't from the abstruse sound sect, he might try to force them out of him. Qilin could only watch as Yemo and Jing Ingli left, but he still looked at Yemo with bad intent. In his view, even though Yemo was Jing Ingli's follower, he was a 9-star sect's core disciple. Yemo should give him a few hollow seed fruit. After a long while, Yemo asked Marshall's sister Jing, "Did your sect really send a few people to protect you, and they all died?" Jing Ingli said with dejectedness, "Yes, my father sent those inner sect members, but ever since they went in the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds, they never came out. I've been wanting to tell you that if you don't have an identity when you go out, you can use one of their identities, and I will vouch for you." Yi-Mo could tell that she wasn't very sad that her 3 followers died, but more that it was because they were sent by her father. Yi-Mo shook his head. He felt that there was too much drama in these big sections. But he still thanked Jing Ingli for giving him an identity. "From now on, your name is Shipei. After you go out, you can leave by yourself and change names. I will go back and say that you didn't listen to me, and I killed you," Jing Ingli said indifferently. Hearing this, Yi-Mo realized that those 3 guards weren't just here to protect her. He nodded and didn't ask why. It had nothing to do with him. After a long silence, Jing Ingli said that Qi Lin is the core disciple of God Wind Valley, Nascent Soul State Level 9, and ranked 17th on the Nascent Soul State Trial Tablet. You need to be careful. Yi-Mo nodded. He probably was no match for the 17th ranked on the Trial Tablet yet. Cultivators weren't like spirit beasts. The lightning leopard was level 7, but it wasn't intelligent. If it had intelligence, then even hollow spirit state, primary stage cultivators were no match for it. So usually ordinary cauldron-filling state cultivators couldn't beat level 9 spirit beasts, since spirit beasts who were level 9 usually had intelligence, and some even began to morph into humans. After you leave the Truthfall Palace, what do you plan to do? Because of Yi-Mo's show of power, Jing Ingli didn't want to just use him. She even wanted to help him, as perhaps he might pay her back in the future. With how smart Jing Ingli was, she could see the huge potential in Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo fell silent for a moment. He planned to go back to MOU City and then entrust it to Su Changjie to look after. Then he would find a forgery great master to make the lightning leopard skin into an armor and prepare for breaking through to hollow spirit state. I want to find a forgery great master and make the lightning leopard skin into an armor. Yi-Mo didn't tell her about MOU City as she wasn't a friend yet. Jing Ingli fell silent and said, "I know a forgery grandmaster. I will tell you his location and you can go see him. Another thing is..." She hesitated before continuing. "Although news of you killing Yuan Guannan and Tian Alfing hasn't been spilled, I suggest you find some support. 9-star sects like the Lightning Cloud sect and the Infinity sect have too much power. One slight thing might bring them to investigate you. So, you need to prepare yourself." How could Yi-Mo not know this? But they were both 9-star sects while he was only a nascent soul state level 4. How was he going to fight against them? As though knowing what Yi-Mo was thinking, Jing Ingli said, "All Formation sect is only an 8-star sect, but it's very powerful. Even ordinary 9-star sects don't dare to mess with them. You're a level 5 Formation Great Master, a talent the All Formation sect needs. If you join them, then even the 9-star sects need to consider before attacking you." Yi-Mo could tell from her tone that they just needed to think before attacking. So, they would still attack if necessary. Jing Ingli shook her head. She knew that the All Formation sect was powerful, but not enough to protect Yi-Mo. Suddenly smiled and said to Jing Ingli, "Martial Sister Jing, thanks for your help. So what if the 9-star sect comes to me? We cultivators pursue the Tao. What is there to fear in death?" Jing Ingli smiled. "I know you're not scared to die, but from your tone, I know you have too many attachments. If you really didn't have that many attachments, I wouldn't be helping you come up with ideas." She paused before sighing. "If only you were a pill master, you could join the Pill City." "Pill City?" Yi-Mo immediately asked. Chapter 1071. The Genius That Was Shocked. Chapter 1071. The Genius That Was Shocked. Jing Ingli nodded. Pill City is the only 10-star city on Luoyu continent. To be exact, it's not a sect, it's just a city. But it's a grade higher than a 9-star sect. Although the Pill City never starts any trouble, no one dares to start trouble at the Pill City. If you were a pill master, with your talent you will eventually rise to the top at the Pill City. At that time, Even if the Infinity Sect knew that you killed Yuan Guanan, they wouldn't dare to do anything to you. Pill City, Yi Mo didn't expect there to be a 10-star power in South P State. But then again, ever since he came to South P State, he had been cultivating and hiding. He didn't dare to appear in public places. How could he know about the Pill City? Seeing Yi Mo's strange expression, Jing Yingli immediately guessed that Yi Mo didn't even know about the Pill City. So she explained, long ago the Pill City was an association formed for pill masters. Because it attracted large amounts of pill concoction masters, many powerful beings who couldn't break through would seek help from the pill kings at the Pill Association. Until eventually all those who failed immortal ascension and those cultivators who couldn't reach truth realization state would all go to the Pill City. Eventually, this place became a place where powerful beings gathered. Yi Mo realized that this place was like the North Far State Pill Association, but eventually turned into the Pill City. Jing Yingli continued, a few centuries ago, a level 9 Pill King changed the place the Pill Association was at to Pill City. Almost all the powerful beings and Pill Kings at the time joined the Pill City. The Pill City became the most powerful place in South P State. Rarely anyone from the Pill City went out seeking trouble. They were all there for cultivation and pill concoction. Many cultivators who wanted to absorb the pill chi in the city all joined the Pill City. Yi Mo sighed. He thought the cities were the weakest, as no matter how a city developed its power, it couldn't match a sect. But now it seemed he was very wrong. He wanted to develop MOU City into the most powerful city, but it seemed someone had done this long before him. I heard that the best Pill King in South P State was only level 7. How could there be a level 9 Pill King? Yi Mo asked in confusion. He didn't believe Old Man Kong, Yi, would trick him. Jing Yingli smiled. That's right, because usually Pill Kings above level 7 don't stay in society. They are all focused on studying the immortal Tao and trying to concoct immortal pills until they die of old age or reach immortal ascension. So, it's very hard even for truth realization state cultivators to ask a Pill King above level 7 for pill concoction. Usually, even level 7 Pill King don't help people easily. Yi Mo was beginning to understand. If a level 7 Pill King did well, then he might occasionally concoct Heaven Grade level 9 pills. Heaven Grade level 9 was already the highest level in the cultivation realm. It even had a pill spirit. Even truth realization states might not need Heaven Grade level 9 pills. Are there a lot of Pill Kings at the Pill City? Yi Mo asked. Jing Yingli shook her head. There are about 30 to 50 Pill Kings at the Pill City. That isn't a lot. The sects in the entire South P State without Pill Kings and solo cultivators all go to Pill City to buy pills. This means that every Pill King is very precious. There are even fewer Pill Kings above level 4. There aren't more than 20 in South P State and no more than 10 in the Pill City. As for level 7 Pill Kings, according to what I know, there are only 2 in the Pill City. I don't know how many Pill Kings there are above level 7. Yi Mo didn't expect his pill concoction skills to be able to rank into top 20 in the South P State. He hesitated before telling Jing Yingli, Is there something you want to say? Say it, I won't betray you. Jing Yingli could tell by Yi Mo's expression that he had something to say. Yi Mo nodded. Martial Sister Jing, thanks for your words and your genuine help. I've decided to go to the Pill City. It's just as you said. I'm not afraid of death, but I have too many attachments. Jing Yingli was very smart and provided the best analysis for his situation. Jing Yingli could just tell from a slight hint and stared at Yi Mo in shock. Are you a pill master too? Yi Mo nodded. That's right, but I'm not a pill master. I'm a level 4 Pill King. What? Jing Yingli was struck by Yi Mo's words again. She stared at Yi Mo with uncertainty. If Yi Mo didn't show level 5 formation great master skills before, she would think Yi Mo was crazy. If a level 5 formation great master needed time to build up, Then level 4 Pill Kings didn't just need time, they needed absurd talent and large amounts of time and resources as well as fortune. How old was Yi Mo? Just being a formation great master was enough to use up all the time he had spent. Now he told her he was a Pill King, a level 4 Pill King. How could she believe it? But her instincts told her that Yi Mo wasn't lying. You're really a level 4 Pill King? Jing Ingli asked in disbelief. I'm indeed a level 4 Pill King. Yi Mo was helpless. Jing Ingli took a deep breath as she processed this information. Yi Mo felt quite awkward being stared at by Jing Ingli. He coughed and said, I want to ask how to get to the Pill City. Jing Ingli breathed slowly and calmed down before saying, You're a level 4 Pill King. You should be able to concoct the Hollow Meridian Pill, right? The difference between level 4 and level 3 Pill King was a yardstick, no matter how many materials a level 3 Pill King wasted. He wouldn't be able to concoct a Hollow Meridian Pill. Only a level 4 Pill King could concoct it, so it was very precious. This was why there was such a huge ratio difference in nascent Soul State and Hollow Spirit State cultivators in South P State. Yi Mo nodded. That's right, I should be able to concoct it. Okay. Jing Ingli took out tens of jade boxes and placed them in front of Yi Mo, saying, These are the spirit herbs needed for the Hollow Meridian Pill. I'll take you to the city, and you can help me concoct a Hollow Meridian Pill. I will also take you to the Forgery Master, and even get you a spot in the Pill City's Pill Concoction Tournament. Even the 9-star Sect Abstruse Sound Sect didn't have a level 4 Pill King. So Jing Ingli collected large amounts of spirit herbs, since she couldn't find someone to concoct the pill for her. Perhaps she could ask for help from her sect, but to her, that was the last thing she wanted to do. Plus, the sect leader was her father, the person she didn't want to see the most. If she hadn't met Yi Mo, she was planning to head to Pill City a year later. But since Yi Mo was a level 4 Pill King, she wasn't going to pass up this opportunity. Yi Mo scanned the jade box with a spirit sense. A few contained the hollow seed, fruit they had collected. He said in surprise, You have enough materials here to make 3 cauldrons of Hollow Meridian pills. If you just need one, you don't need to use this many materials. I just need 1 pill, you can have the rest. Jing Ingli was very confident in her talent. 1 Hollow Meridian pill, and she could ascend to Hollow Spirit State. Yi Mo wasn't greedy. Jing Ingli was so generous and helped him with his plan. He was very grateful. The Hollow Meridian pill was very precious. Even if she didn't need it, she could sell it for large amounts of spirit stones. I'll help you concoct it now. It will probably take me half a day for a cauldron, but I'll give you 1 cauldron. The rest can be my payment, Yi Mo said. 3 hours later, Jing Ingli held the bottle of Hollow Meridian pills Yi Mo gave her and didn't have any doubts at all. She was even more shocked at Yi Mo's mysteriousness. Although Yi Mo didn't concoct the pills in front of her, she was sure that Yi Mo had concocted a cauldron of Hollow Meridian pills on the first try. They were special grade as well. Perhaps this guy could even concoct heaven grade level 5 pills. As a prodigy, Jing Ingli had to admit she was shocked and crushed. Compared to Yi Mo, what sort of genius was she? Chapter 1072, Eerie Level 7. Chapter 1072, Eerie Level 7, Putting Away the Hollow Meridian Pill. Jing Ingli suppressed the confusion and shock in her heart and didn't question Yi Mo. She knew that if a mysterious prodigy like Yi Mo was known by the Pill City, he would definitely become someone significant there. If Yi Mo rose up in status, the Lightning Cloud sect and the Infinity sect wouldn't continue a feud with such a prodigy over a mere core disciple. Her help towards Yi Mo was at the time when he needed it the most. This was countless times better than helping Yi Mo when he had already reached the top. I suppose that after we search through Truthfall Palace Level 7, the Truthfall Palace will close, but it's fine. The time is still early, and we have no way of getting to Level 8. After we go out, we can meet again in 3 months at the Pill City. This is a detailed map of the entire South P state. Pill City is there. Jing Ingli gave a jade slip to Yemo. Yemo took the jade slip. He found that he already had such a jade slip, but not as accurate as Jing Ingli's. Jing Ingli didn't ask how Yemo became a Pill King or Formation Great Master. She was a smart woman. Since Yemo didn't say anything, she wouldn't ask about it. There was not a single person to be seen at the entrance to level 7. Clearly, there were few cultivators who could come to level 6, and even fewer who wanted to go to level 7. When Jing Ingli came here, she hesitated for a moment. Before, she had no attachments and had no problem with going to level 7. But now, she got the Hollow Meridian pill and began to hesitate. After all, she was young and could wait another 30 years before coming back here. Yemo's senses were extremely powerful after cultivating the 3-birth chant, and he noticed Jing Ingli's feelings. He smiled and said, "The Hollow Meridian pill only lets you reach Hollow Spirit state. For us, cultivators, Hollow Spirit state is just the beginning." Jing Ingli smiled and clearly understood what Yemo meant. She looked back at Yemo and said, "Thank you, you're also a very meticulous and smart person. It's not that I'm afraid of death. I'm scared that if I happen to die here, I won't have another chance to come to level 7. Then she paused and looked at Yemo. "I saw that you had too many attachments before. That's why you were willing to go to the Pill City. Is it your family?" Yemo wasn't willing to talk to Jing Ingli about this, but his heart lit on fire thinking about them. He sighed and said heavily, "Yes, I really miss them." Jing Ingli could see the heavy attachment in Yemo's eyes and said, "Cultivation is supposed to sever all emotional ties, don't you understand?" Yemo smiled indifferently. "The Tao I'm cultivating is one that has emotions. If it was an emotionless Tao, then I might as well not cultivate it." Jing Ingli suddenly felt at ease. She was ugly and people didn't like her. She had always been cultivating and cultivating, but she didn't feel any prejudice from Yemo hearing Yemo's reply. She smiled as well. "If your view is heard by the 8-star sect, Heartless Valley, it'll be another conflict." Yemo didn't reply. He wasn't afraid of a 9-star sect. So how could he be afraid of an 8-star sect? Jing Ingli didn't talk anymore. She walked up to the stairs to level 7 and said, "Walk next to me. We might not be able to talk later. Use your spirit sense cultivation method to sever the mental pressure, and we'll charge up to level 7 together." Okay. Yemo walked onto the stairs at the same time. There were 777 stairs to level 7. The first 200 stairs, Yemo and Jing Ingli could still deal with. But after that, the sudden pressure almost crushed Jing Ingli's back. Luckily, she was prepared and used her cultivation essence to stop the pressure. It had only been 200 stairs, and there was already such pressure. How were they going to pass the next 500 stairs? Jing Ingli had to use her spirit sense to defend. But she knew that even if they defended together, they wouldn't be able to reach level 7. At this moment, she began to get lost. She didn't know if her decision was right or wrong. She just wanted to look at Yemo. But suddenly she felt light. The mental pressure seemed to have been severed. She gazed at Yemo in surprise. She knew Yemo had spirit sense attacking means, but didn't expect it to be this powerful. Jing Ingli blushed thinking about how she said they could work together to get to level 7. Now, it seemed that regardless of whether Yemo could get to level 7, her help was minimal. "Hurry up!" Yemo felt his purple eye soul sever had improved a lot, but the mental pressure from level 7 stairs was much more powerful than level 6, and this was only the beginning. Jing Ingli could also feel that Yemo was beginning to struggle, so she went faster. Soon, they reached about the 500 stairs point. Just when Jing Ingli thought they would be able to reach level 7 if they walked a little faster, the mental pressure that was suppressed by Yemo drastically increased, and Jing Ingli spat out many mouthfuls of blood. She began to feel despair. This wasn't a blood clot stuck in her chest. This was the brink of her being crushed mentally. She didn't need to look at Yi Mo to know that he wasn't much better off than her. Yi Mo was indeed not much better than Jingli. The sudden increase in pressure made him spit blood too. He could almost feel that his sea of consciousness was beginning to crumble. Yi Mo was shook. If his sea of consciousness crumbled, he would be finished. He used all his spirit sense and used purple eye soul sever again. After using this, Yi Mo felt a light crack sound in his sea of consciousness, and a feeling of comfort and ease rose up his chest. The sea of consciousness that was about to explode became clear. The mental pressure nearby reduced. Yi Mo knew that his purple eye soul sever had reached from level 2 to level 3. Now he could not only cut off the mental pressure, but also hack out with a spirit sense sword. If he fought with the lightning leopard now, he wouldn't need to trap it at the price of injury. He only needed to keep using his spirit sense sword. Yi Mo also felt the area around him clear up. He rejoiced. Not only did his purple eye soul sever upgrade, but his spirit sense also increased by a level. He was sure that spirit sense had levels, but he didn't know what level his was at. Jingli also felt some ease and looked gratefully at Yi Mo. Thank you. Your spirit sense cultivation method upgraded? Yi Mo nodded. He didn't calm down yet. If his spirit sense didn't break through just then, he could only wait for death. Before, he thought he would be able to go into the Golden Page world when he couldn't take it anymore, but now it seemed he was too naive. He could have done that on the stairs to level 6, but here he could only spit blood. I'll take back what I said before. I said you can't kill me, but that's just what I've been thinking. Jingli mocked herself. Other than looks, she wouldn't say anyone was better than her in front of any prodigy in the South Peace State. But now, she was truly defeated by Yi Mo. The remaining stairs didn't trouble the two anymore, and soon they came to Truth Fall Palace level 7. Yi Mo thought there would be better spirit chi here than level 6, but when he came here he found out he was very wrong. The spirit chi here was very chaotic and impure. It wasn't even as good as level 5. This is level 7. Yi Mo looked around at the dull gray landscape and was dazed. Then, Yi Mo saw a cultivator up ahead. It was Duanjiang, the hollow spirit state cultivator from the 9-star sect, God Wind Valley. He stood there still and clearly dead, but his expression was very eerie. Chapter 1073. Not Space Collapse. Chapter 1073. Not space collapse. It's God Wind Valley's Duanjiang. Jingli saw this and said, I know it's Duanjiang, but don't you feel that his death is quite eerie? Yi Mo asked. Jingli nodded. Yes, there are battle marks around him, and his face seems like he saw something good, but his eyes show shock and... Jingli glanced at Yi Mo with some terror in her eyes. And his storage ring is gone, right? Yi Mo asked, what sort of person do you think could kill this hollow spirit state cultivator so suddenly that he couldn't even react? Jingli and Yi Mo looked at each other, both feeling uneasy. In order to kill a hollow spirit state cultivator before he could react, this person needed to be at least disaster transformation state or even truth realization state. It wasn't hard for a truth realization state cultivator to instantly kill a hollow spirit state cultivator, but it was very hard to do that before the hollow spirit state cultivator's expression could even change. Yi Mo looked around at the dull sky and felt more and more uneasy. He had a sense of danger that he had never felt before. He felt that level 7 wasn't a place he could come to with his current power. Have people come to level 7 before? Why is it dull gray here and the spirit chi is so impure? Spirit sense is also affected. I can't see a single spirit herb. Jingli calmed down and nodded. Yes, Truth Fall Palace level 7 doesn't have a lot of spirit herbs. Even if it does, they would be very precious and rare ones. The cultivators who come here are here for the true God chamber, to find heaven-grade cultivation method and magic artifacts. Jing Ingli continued. It said that level 7 was a battlefield for ancient cultivators. Many body condensation state, cauldron filling state, and even truth realization state cultivators died here, and their magic artifacts were buried under the ground or lost in some corner. Later, True God Chamber appeared in level 7, and all the magic artifacts and cultivation methods with some intelligence appear here. Yi Mo sneered and looked at Jing Ingli. Do you believe that cultivation methods and magic artifacts would appear here on their own? Although you didn't directly answer my question, from what you said, I can tell that people have been at level 7 before. Jing Ingli frowned. She had only heard that once magic artifacts reach a certain level, there would be an artifact spirit, but she didn't know what level that was. Plus, would cultivation artifacts have an artifact spirit? Even if magic artifacts had an artifact spirit, would cultivation methods have a spirit too? But she still replied, I heard my master say that before the Golden Sword sect had a hollow spirit state, cultivator go into level 7. But after that cultivator came out, he brought out a lot of cultivation methods and cultivation artifacts. There were even level 8 spirit herbs. After he came out, he kept talking about the true God chamber, saying there are magic artifacts and cultivation methods, stacked up like mountains. Yi Mo asked in confusion, What does that mean? Jing Ingli sighed. That cultivator only kept speaking about the true God chamber and stopped cultivating. He had mental problems, and not long after, he died. People all thought that the problem was because the pressure on the stairs broke him. The 7-star sect Golden Sword sect rose to become an 8-star sect due to the things he brought out, and their reserves aren't any less than ordinary 9-star sections. So ever since then, all big sect cultivators want to go into Truthful Palace level 7. But hearing your words, I suddenly remembered that after all these years, there hasn't been someone who has reached level 7 and come out successfully. Then why do you have to go to level 7? Yi Mo asked her. Jing Ingli hesitated for a moment before saying, Because my grandmother died at level 7. My main purpose is to bring her storage ring back out. There's something very important in that storage ring. You think that storage ring is in the true God chamber, right? Yi Mo asked again. Jing Ingli nodded. Yes, people saw my grandmother go into Truthful Palace level 7 and not come out. If she died, it would be in the true God chamber. I have a premonition that if we go into the true God chamber with our current power, we won't come back out alive no matter what. It's a premonition, but my premonitions are usually very accurate, Yi Mo said. Yi Mo suddenly had a very bad feeling that he didn't feel even in the Forbidden Grounds. Jing Ingli fell silent. She had finally come to Truthful Palace level 7 and wasn't able to do what she wanted. It was hard for her to accept, and she knew that if she wasn't able to do it now, she wouldn't be able to do it 30 years later. 30 years later, she would at most be Hollow Spirit State level 4. How much better could she be than Duan Jiang? Even if she was Hollow Spirit State level 4, she might not even be able to come up here without Yi Mo's spirit sense attack. Seeing Jing Ingli's hesitation, Yi Mo said again, If you trust me 30 years later, I will help you find your grandma's storage ring if I have the chance. But now, even if I go with you, it's useless. It's the first time I've disliked a place this much. If I could choose, I would have already left here. Seeing that Yi Mo even said this, Jing Ingli clenched her teeth and said, Okay, we'll wait here to teleport out. There's about 1 or 2 days left. Just as Jing Ingli said those words, Yi Mo felt that space itself seemed to be collapsing. Without hesitation, he released the octagonal cauldron. Immediately, a cauldron shadow formed around Yi Mo and Jing Ingli. Jing Ingli noticed some bleakness attack pass by and also felt that space was collapsing. She immediately screamed, This is space collapse! The next moment, her face went pale. Even truth realization state cultivators wouldn't be able to escape from space collapse, much less nascent soul state cultivators. Yi Mo's face sunk, and he used his full power to power the octagonal cauldron. The collapse just then seemed like space collapse, but Yi Mo's powerful spirit sense immediately recognized that it was something else. Yi Mo, it's useless, that's space collapse. Don't use the octagonal cauldron to block it, Jing Ingli said with despair. Yi Mo didn't say anything and just kept using the octagonal cauldron. Thud, 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 after a few thuds. Yi Mo's cauldron seemed to be taking some powerful attack. They were both sent flying and landed a few hundred meters away. This isn't space collapse. Jing Ingli immediately realized that it just looked like space collapse. Yi Mo spat blood and wiped his mouth, saying coldly, "We were tricked. You're injured." Jing Ingli didn't understand what Yi Mo meant by being tricked. Yi Mo said with a heavy voice, "See if Duanjiang is still there." Jing Ingli just found that Duanjiang had disappeared and immediately asked, "Was he devoured by the space collapse?" She immediately realized her words were bullshit. If it was space collapse, how could Yi Mo's octagonal cauldron protect them? Devoured my ass. Yi Mo's face was bad. He saw clearly that Duanjiang was blown to pieces by that bleak wind. That bleak wind blew after that seeming space collapse. "Don't move." Yi Mo then released Mist Lotus Heart Fire and swept it over Jing Ingli's body. Heaven Flame. Jing Ingli was dazed and recognized it to be Heaven Flame. Although it was sweeping towards her, she didn't move. She was certain that Yi Mo wasn't trying to kill her, or he wouldn't envelop her with the octagonal cauldron. Jing Ingli was right. After a sizzling burn, she felt much lighter. Something on her clothes seemed to have been burned off. That wasn't true space collapse. Jing Ingli immediately realized that someone had simulated space collapse. If she had tried to just run away, she would have been dead already. Yi Mo had seen through it quickly and released the octagonal cauldron to block it. That wasn't true space collapse. Jing Ingli immediately realized that someone had simulated space collapse. If she had tried to just run away, she would have been dead already. Yi Mo had seen through it quickly and released the octagonal cauldron to block it. "Thanks for saving me again." Jing Ingli didn't see what Yi Mo burned off, but it clearly wasn't something good. Yi Mo nodded. "You saved me before, don't sweat it. But I think this Truth Fall Palace Level 7 isn't simple. It seemed to have been taken over by something. It must have not been like this before. I also feel this place isn't right. Let's go quickly." Jing Ingli shivered, but she stopped in the middle of her sentence. Where could they go? Go to level 8 or back to level 6? Yi Mo said, "We have nowhere to go now. We don't know the stairs to level 8, but even if we find it, can we go up? We can't go back down, so the only way is to wait until we get teleported out." Okay. Jing Ingli calmed down and accepted that there was no other way than defending their current position. Jing Ingli immediately released her own round shield. She knew that Yi Mo would set up a formation, and she didn't need to remind him. As expected, Yi Mo used a few hand signs on the octagonal cauldron and started taking out formation flags. What they didn't expect was that even after Yi Mo finished setting up 2 defensive formations, there was still no movement around them. "Are we being too careful?" Jing Ingli asked Yi Mo. Yi Mo shook his head. "We're definitely not being too careful. My intuition is always right. It's best we stay here. This isn't far from the entrance to level 7, so it's not at the most dangerous place. Use these formation flags to guard the formation. If the formation weakens, throw out the formation flag according to the position." Then Yi Mo gave a handful of formation flags to Jing Ingli. If he didn't have that many attachments, he would really want to go to that true God chamber and check it out, but he knew something would happen to him if he went. "What about you?" Jing Ingli asked. "I need to make more formation flags." If you have any formation flag materials, give whatever you can to me. Then, Yi Emo sat down inside the defensive formation and started forging formation flags. Jing Ingli didn't ask questions as she took out her materials. Stockpiling them in front of Yemo started making formation flags nonstop. He was no forging master, but he knew something about forgery through all the formation flags he had made. He was even thinking he might become a forging master through forging formation flags sooner or later. Grandmother. Jing Ingli stared nervously outside and suddenly saw her grandmother. She had never seen her, but she was certain it was her. She subconsciously wanted to charge over, but felt some coldness in her sea of consciousness. It was similar to the feeling of being crippled. Before she could react, the level 5 formation flashed a white light and flipped something out. Jing Ingli shivered and found that a big part of the level 5 formation was broken. If there was another attack, the first level 5 formation would completely cripple. She looked out. Her grandmother was nowhere to be seen. So close, it affected my sea of consciousness like a heart demon. She immediately threw her formation flags at the broken part of the formation. After the formation was repaired, Jing Ingli was still in a state of shock. She subconsciously looked at Yemo and said, "I think I know how Duan Juyang died." Yi Emo glanced at her. "I know already too. Just be careful. Don't let the formation get broken. Otherwise we'll die for sure. The only thing we can do now is to stall until the time is up." Jing Ingli nodded awkwardly. She felt her cleverness didn't work in front of Yi Emo. Compared to Yi Mo's composure and defense measures, she was getting startled too easily. Jing Ingli breathed out, however, thinking, "Why think lowly of myself? How many Yi Mos are there in the world?" Yi Emo was forging formation flags faster and faster. More and more formation flags piled up in front of him. Their piece passed quickly as a faint shadow that Jing Ingli's spirit sense could see clearly began charging incessantly at their formation. The formation soon started shaking, and even the space wind blades and chaos flows seemed to be growing. The formation light flickered as the attacker was blocked again and again by the formation. Jing Ingli could only keep throwing down formation flags and spirit stones. She still didn't know what was attacking them. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The formation seemed to be unable to take the huge attacks, and Jing Ingli looked worriedly at Yemo. But Yemo just kept making formation flags and didn't seem to notice anything. Crack! Finally, the first defensive formation was broken. Jing Ingli saw a dull face, but that face instantly disappeared. Yemo. Jing Ingli was very smart, but she couldn't help feeling worried in their current situation. If things went on like this, their next layer of defense would be broken soon. Crack! The second defense formation was loosening up. At this moment, Yemo got up and said to her, "Rest for a while, leave this to me." Then Yemo threw out formation flags like he were throwing out flower petals. "You're not going to repair the formation." Jing Ingli found that the formation flags were meant to form a new formation. "That's right," Yemo said. He saw that level 5 defense formation wasn't going to make them last until the Truthfall Palace opened. So since there were a lot of high-level materials for him to use there, he started making level 6 defense formation flags. He was setting up a level 6 defense formation now. Jing Ingli didn't waste time and kept repairing the level 5 formations. Another 4 hours later, when the level 5 formation was about to break, Yemo threw out 4 extreme grade spirit stones and tens of spirit crystals. Jing Ingli felt the space around her shake, and a new big defense formation appeared in front of her. A level 6 defense formation. Jing Ingli exclaimed in shock. She looked at Yemo with more complicated eyes. This Yemo was too genius. He could set up a level 6 formation under such conditions. Usually, a sect had to spend countless spirit stones to invite someone to set up a level 6 defensive formation for them. If Yimo's formation skills increased just one more level, he could go anywhere in the cultivation realm with his formation skills. She also picked up on the fact that Yimo had an astonishing amount of extreme grade spirit stones and spirit crystals. He was richer than her. Was he really in solo cultivator? Yimo breathed a sigh of relief and said, "We just need to defend inside this formation now. Pity that we didn't get anything up here, and I wasted so many materials, spirit crystals, and extreme grade spirit stones." "What is this place?" Jing Ingli asked. Yimo fell silent for a while before saying, "I'm not very sure, but the shadow outside seems like a ghost cultivator, but it seems to have been controlled by someone. It's probably not a ghost cultivator. That black shadow indeed had no will, yet it was able to invade the sea of consciousness," Jing Ingli said. Pausing for a moment, she subconsciously glanced at Yimo and saw him looking at her. There was a deep worry and heaviness in their eyes. Both of them guessed that the black shadows out there were being controlled. Clearly, they weren't controlled by some cultivator who just came up here. The only explanation was that the controller had been in level 7 for a very long time. A day went by quickly. It was dangerous, but they still survived relying on the level 6 formation. A day went by quickly. It was dangerous, but they still survived relying on the level 6 formation. "I'll set up an attack formation." Yimo saw that even though his formation was powerful, if they just defended they might get in trouble. Jing Ingli said softly, "You probably don't need to. I think it's less than 2 hours before we can leave." Yimo stopped. If there was only less than 2 hours, then he didn't need to set up formations anymore indeed. Just as Yimo stopped, an extremely powerful space whirlpool rammed into the formation. Crack! The level 6 formation was about to be torn apart. Yimo and Jing Ingli were very shocked. They both thought that the defense formation could last at least 6 more hours, but its break was imminent. Before the two could react, the next moment, the level 6 formation completely shattered. The two felt waves of bleakness before the black figure finally charged up to them. The octagonal cauldron shot out countless cauldron shadows, trying to stop the black shadow. Yimo knew that his octagonal cauldron wouldn't be able to stop some guy that can break a level 6 defense formation, though. Hence Yimo immediately released the Mist Lotus Heart Fire. He had no other way than this. As the Mist Lotus Heart fire swept out, there was a terrifying howl of pain. It was actually effective, and that quickly. Before Yimo could rejoice, a round, colorless bead appeared before him. It was very comfortable to look at, and Yimo couldn't help but grab it with his hand. A sense of comfort overcame him, and even his mind went clear. What was this? It was so good. It's a spirit cleansing bead. Those attacking us are spirit cultivators, Jing Ingli exclaimed upon seeing the bead. Spirit cleansing bead? Yimo was shocked. He found that it was indeed the spirit cleansing bead. They were priceless in the cultivation realm. Even level 9 spirit herbs might not be as valuable as the spirit cleansing bead. It was used for cultivating spirit sense and purifying the soul. There were countless benefits to wearing it. Only some spirit cultivators had them, but spirit cultivators weren't usually seen. And once they died, the bead would disappear along with them. Were those black shadows all spirit cultivators? Yimo suspected so for a moment, but he then immediately refuted the idea. There might be some spirit cultivators amongst them, but most of them probably weren't. Not good. Countless black shadows charged over. Yimo's heart sunk. There was no level 6 defense formation anymore. It would be impossible to stop all those black shadows. Even though his heaven flame was effective, he couldn't take on this many at once. Moreover, he wasn't sure if his heaven flame would work against all types of black shadows. Jing Ingli also realized this. Yimo immediately took out formation flags. wanting to set up another formation, but at this moment, 2 white beams of light flashed. Jing Ingli rejoiced and said to Yi Mo, "The Truthful Palace is closing." Yi Mo also felt the white light and immediately wore the mask Jing Ingli had given him. When he opened his eyes again, he saw he was on top of that sacrificial stage at the top of the mountain. He looked around and found Jing Ingli quickly. Jing Ingli nodded to him, but there was no longer a smile on her face. Yi Mo kept his head low as he walked behind her. What started with 6,000 people ended with only about 2,000 people. Yi Mo soon saw Guyu and Guiqifan. He saw they were fine and felt at ease. He also saw Qing Han and Qing Yi and company come out. Guiqifan was looking around probably for Yi Mo, but Yi Mo wasn't going to meet up with him now. Qing Han, Qing Yi, and the others also scanned around everywhere with their spirit sense. Yi Mo knew they were looking for him. Qing Yi soon found that she couldn't find Ning Xiaoma with her spirit sense, and immediately began to worry. She walked up to a nascent soul state level 9 nun from her sect and asked, "Big Martial Sister, did Ning Xiaoma come out? Did you guys see him in the Forbidden Grounds?" The nun nodded, but didn't know how to respond. Ling Xiaoshuang on the side said, quickly, "Ning Xiaoma probably died in the Forbidden Grounds. Don't put it to heart, Martial Sister Qingyi, after all he's—" Huh. Qing Han and the rest immediately turned dejected at the thought that Yi Mo had died. Xia Yushan even started wiping her eyes. Yi Mo on the side felt touched, but also guilty. He knew that he could not show himself now no matter what. If he did, a lot of things would be exposed. Yi Pandai to begin with was not reliable. Yi Mo just thought of her when Qinghua walked up to Yi Pandai with a cold face. "Martial Sister Yi, I want to ask if you looked for trouble with Martial Brother Xiaoma inside the Forbidden Grounds." Qing Han pulled Qinghua, signaling her not to say things like that because she knew that even if Yi Pandai had looked for trouble with Yi Mo, she would not be a match for Yi Mo. Instead, asking Yi Pandai like this might start trouble between the two sections. What Qing Han didn't expect was that Yi Pandai would bow to Qinghua and say genuinely, "Sorry, Martial Sister Qinghua, I misunderstood Martial Brother Xiaoma before. I wouldn't look for trouble with him in the Forbidden Grounds. I am also very sad that he didn't come out." She didn't speak about Yi Mo helping her. After all, she would be interrogated about it, as it involved the core disciple of the Eternity C being killed. She only needed to know herself. Qinghua didn't expect Yi Pandi's views of Martial Brother Xiaoma to change this much, but it was clear that she was being genuine. "Sister, you only have one guard left? Did you encounter some danger in the Forbidden Grounds?" A crisp voice sounded, and Yi Mo subconsciously looked up. What a pretty woman. She wore a faint purple dress. Her skin was whiter than snow, and her face very exquisite to the extent that it was hard to look at. Perhaps due to her cultivation method, there was light mist around her, making her seem like a goddess. There was simply worry in her eyes, and it was obvious her words were genuine. Without having to think long, Yi Mo knew this woman was Jing Ingming. South Peace State 10 Beauties, ranked 4th. She was at nascent soul state level 7. Jing Ingli hummed, but didn't say anything else. Her face remained cold. Jing Ingmeng didn't get angry because of this at all, and instead seemed more worried. Yi Mo couldn't help but feel bad for Jing Ingli. Standing in front of Jing Ingmeng for her must have felt like a pig standing in front of a goddess. Other than their bodies and power, Yi Mo really couldn't tell how they were sisters. Jing Ingmeng sighed and looked at Yi Mo, saying coldly, "Although you were assigned to my sister by the sect leader, the person you need to listen to now isn't the sect leader, but my sister." Yi Mo was bewildered by this comment, but he didn't say anything, and neither did Jing Ingli. At this moment, the cultivators outside came, and before those cultivators could come around the stage, an extremely powerful pressure approached. "A truth realization state, Qianbei," someone said in shock. No one other than a truth realization state cultivator could exert such pressure. Yi Mo's heart sunk, and he kept his head low, not daring to scan his spirit sense around. The truth realization state cultivator was clearly there for Yuan Guannan. The truth realization state cultivator came before the stage, floating in the air as his pressure grew even stronger, and some golden core state cultivators couldn't help but start shaking. That's enough. Dao friend, these Wanbei can't take your pressure. Another cultivator came up and smiled. That truth realization state cultivator sneered, but took back part of his pressure and said to the cultivators on the stage, "Which of you killed my infinity sex, Yuan Guannan? Stand out now, or if I find out later, your sect will be involved together with you." The cultivators who just came out rustled about. The number one genius of the Infinity Sect, Yuan Guannan, had died at the Truthfall Palace? He was nascent soul state level 5, already at only about 30 years old. He had a bright future ahead of him. The cultivators who just came out rustled about. The number one genius of the Infinity Sect, Yuan Guannan, had died at the Truthfall Palace? He was nascent soul state level 5, already at only about 30 years old. He had a bright future ahead of him, and this was due to forceful suppression. If it wasn't to build a solid foundation, Yuan Guannan might be at the hollow spirit state already. Yet, such a person didn't come out of the Truthfall Palace? It was hard to believe. Who could have dared to kill him? He probably didn't make it out of the Forbidden Grounds. Yeah, young Master Yuan is ranked 212 on the Nascent Soul State trial tablet. Who can kill him? Jing Ingli approved of Yi Mo's cautiousness, although she thought that Yuan Guannan's death might startle a truth realization state cultivator and her hiding method might not work. But she just needed Yi Mo's help at the time. Whether or not Yi Mo would be caught didn't concern her. Now, it seemed Yi Mo's prudence had saved his life again. The truth realization state cultivator sneered, and the discussion in the crowd stopped immediately. If you offended a truth realization state cultivator, there was nothing you could do even if he killed your whole family. Tsai, recount what happened before you came out. Another cauldron-filling state cultivator walked up to people and said. Yi Mo glanced at that cauldron-filling state cultivator. He was clearly from the Infinity Sect too, but his face was very pale. Yi Mo wondered if Yuan Guannan was his disciple. When Tsai walked out and bowed to the two truth realization state cultivators before saying to that cauldron-filling state cultivator, Elder Fong, I was with Marshal Brother Yuan at level 5 when he said he had some business and told me to wait for him for 15 minutes. But I waited 5 hours and he still wasn't back. I knew then that something must have happened to him. The truth realization state cultivator heard this and said, those who reach Truthfall Palace level 5 stay, the rest can go. Soon, 1,000 or so people left the stage. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense and found only 500 remained. This was quite a powerful process of elimination. Those cultivators who weren't yet nascent soul state level 3 were also eliminated, until eventually there was only about 100 or so cultivators, and Yi Mo happened to be among them. Yi Mo had counted more than 10 hollow spirit state cultivators, but he saw that only 2 had come out. That monk, Ku Xian, hadn't come out either. What's your name? The truth realization state cultivator suddenly glared at Yi Mo. Yi Mo wore a mask and had nascent soul state level 4 power, but his cultivation essence seemed very strong. Yi Mo cursed. There were about 100 or so people, and he was on the weaker side of the people there. Yi Mo waited and saw that Jing Yingli's face was indifferent, seemingly not caring about him at all. He could only say, Wanbei is abstruse sound sect's inner sect disciple Shipei. I was ordered by the sect leader to protect Miss Yingli. Hearing this, the truth realization state cultivator looked at Jing Yingli. Although he didn't say a word, Jing Yingli still went up and saluted, saying in a very bland tone, Yes, Chenbei. That cauldron-filling state cultivator said next to the truth realization state cultivator. That's the family business of the abstruse sound sect. The truth realization state cultivator nodded and didn't keep interrogating Yemo. Yemo just realized something. If Jing Ingli had rushed to help him provide an alibi, it would have seemed bad instead. It seemed she didn't really like the guard she had before him. Wait, Dao Friend Lin. Another truth realization state cultivator seemed to have realized something. What is it, Brother Wu? The Infinity Sect's truth realization state cultivator looked at the cultivator who just spoke. That cultivator frowned. Dao Friend Lin, I'm sure that the culprit who killed Yuan Guanan isn't amongst these cultivators, because the soul mark isn't something that ordinary cultivators can remove, much less these cultivators, as the highest level cultivator here is only at the hollow spirit state. The Infinity Sect cultivator sighed. How could he not know that? But Yuan Guanan's potential was huge, so he was unsatisfied that he had just died at the Truthfall Palace like that. Also, did you see that 11 hollow spirit state cultivators went in? How come only 2 came out? Even hollow spirit state cultivators could die, much less nascent soul state cultivators. This time, the Truthfall Palace is open to the entire Luo Yu continent. Who knows if there are some prodigies from other places participating? Brother Wu said, That is true indeed. The Infinity Sect Truth realization state cultivator finally saw the situation clearly. That Brother Wu said to the cultivators, Everyone who reached Truthfall Palace level 6, stand out. Yi Mo saw that there were only about 40 cultivators now, including him and Jing Yingli. Okay, is there anyone who went up to level 7? Brother Wu asked again. No, cultivators stepped forward. Yi Mo wasn't going to come out, and he believed Jing Yingli wasn't going to stand out either. The 2 truth realization state cultivators glanced at each other and saw the worry in each other's eyes. The Infinity Sect truth realization state cultivator waved his hand. You may all leave. Then he said to the cultivator next to him, Brother Wu, I feel that the Truthfall Palace is different from usual. The Forbidden Grounds suddenly appeared, and so many prodigies died inside. This isn't normal. Yi Mo didn't care what they were talking about. He just wanted to leave as soon as possible. The ship taking them back was already waiting on the side. Yi Mo didn't say anything and just followed behind Jing Yingli. His room was next to Jing Yingli's, and when he entered, Jing Yingli sent a sound transmission to him. You can't disclose the flame or the bead or you'll be dead for sure. Even without her reminder, Yi Mo wouldn't be dumb enough to tell everyone he had such things. He was more afraid Jing Yingli would spill something, but since she had said this, she clearly wasn't going to spill the beans either. She said this not to remind him, but rather to promise him that she wouldn't tell anyone. A few days went by quickly, and although there were less and less people on the boat, Yi Mo never went out. He felt that Jing Yingli came once, but just stood at the door for a few moments and left. After they came to the Truthfall Palace Square, Yi Mo still followed Jing Yingli closely. Suddenly, Jing Yingli released a flying sword and said to Yi Mo coldly, if you still dare to follow me, don't blame me for killing you. I don't need you, a mere nascent soul state level for inner sect disciple, following me. You can't protect me. Then Jing Yingli turned and left without even glancing at Yi Mo. Yi Mo was grateful. Yi Mo knew this was Jing Yingli giving him a chance to leave and mind his own business, but also reminding him to go to the Pill City to meet up there. Yi Mo seemed to look helplessly at Jing Yingli as she left and suddenly turned away. He quickly hid all his qi because he saw Jing Yingmeng walk towards him. He didn't want to meet her. He had to get back to Mou City and ask Su Changji to look after it. Jing Yingmeng frowned, seeing Yi Mo disappear immediately. Since when did the person father sent out become so strong? Yi Mo found a discreet place to change his qi and wear a new set of clothes, before he put on 9 transformations before heading back to the square. He saw Yu Shanping and Gu Lian surround Gu Wei. They didn't expect Yi Mo to die, but Gu Wei to come out. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense around and soon saw Li Qianping with a face of disappointment at a stall. Yi Mo walked over and saw there were only a few level 4 spirit herbs and some low-grade spirit artifacts. She clearly didn't have her mind on doing business. I want this spirit herb. Yi Mo picked it up and gave a box with a restriction on it to Li Qianping, saying this is the payment. Then Yi Mo left without giving her a chance to talk. Li Qianping scanned inside the box and joy appeared on her face. Without hesitation, she put the box in her storage ring. When she scanned out her spirit sense again, she found Yi Mo was already gone. You're indeed a trustworthy person and have brought Fu Rong's head, Li Qianping murmured as she packed up her stall and disappeared. Before Yi Mo entered Mou City, he could already see Su Changji with a face full of joy. He was a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator now, and the city lord estate was already built, but there was just no formation yet, so Yi Mo easily scanned Su Changji with his spirit sense. Before Yi Mo entered Mou City, he could already see Su Changji with a face full of joy. He was a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator now, and the city lord estate was already built, but there was just no formation yet, so Yi Mo easily scanned Su Changji with his spirit sense. What made Yi Mo even more happy was that under Yi Wutsai's command, more than half of Mou City had been completed. Congrats, Martial Brother, for reaching the hollow spirit state, Yi Mo said before he arrived. Su Changji then also saw Yi Mo and immediately came up to greet him. If it hadn't been for Yi Mo, he would still be at the nascent soul state. Being the nascent soul state, first king meant nothing to him. Only constant progress was the most important. Martial Brother, you're back. From your expression, I can guess you must have acquired quite a lot this time. Su Changji was very happy that Yi Mo came back. He didn't need to worry about cultivation methods anymore with this Martial Brother by his side. Let's go in first. Yi Mo collected his smile and casually set up a spirit sense, shielding restriction, and a soul barrier restriction before pulling Su Changji inside. What's going on? Su Changji also felt the seriousness of Yi Mo's attitude. Yi Mo set everything up before saying to Su Changji, Martial Brother, I will need to go away for a while. In the meantime, I will need you to tell the outside world that I never made it out of the Truthful Palace. You offended someone? Su Changji wasn't dumb and asked. Yi Mo nodded. That's right. I killed that Wu Yu inside. He's a 7-star core disciple. That's a bit troublesome, Su Changji said casually. Yi Mo smiled bitterly. Other than this, I also killed Yuan Guannan. What? You killed even the number 1 genius of the Infinity Sect? How did you even come back? Su Changji was truly amazed. This new Martial Brother of his was a bit too bold. A friend helped, and so I managed. But I suspect those people will investigate Mou City, so I'm prepared to leave. I'll leave Mou City with you, Martial Brother. This is the place from where I'll be building my power, so you must take care of it seriously, Yi Mo said. Su Changji immediately said, Martial Brother, this is not only your place, but also my place now. Don't worry. You can rest assured while you're out. I don't have a place to go anyways, and I really like Mou City, but it's just that the spirit chi is a bit low. However, you're a formation great master, so you can set up a spirit gathering formation, right? Yi Mo smiled. Even if you hadn't mentioned it, I was already planning on doing so. I will also upgrade the city's defensive formation. If someone wants to ask about me, just say that I never came back. Also, I'll need to rely on you for the construction of Mou City and for Yi Wutsai. Su Changji agreed. Half a month later, Yi Mo upgraded the formation of Mou City and set up another defense formation and spirit-gathering formation where Su Changji usually cultivated before giving him a spirit-increasing pill and leaving. He had made the pill from the leftover herbs Jing Inli gave him last time. Although Yi Mo had desperately left the Truthfall Palace Square, the other cultivators didn't. The sects wanted to compare the spirit herbs their disciples got to compare the power of their core disciples. These spirit herbs would be converted into sect contribution points, which could be used to exchange for pills. Even a core disciple of a 9-star sect couldn't find a level 4 pill king to concoct pills for them, much less other disciples. Hence, usually the disciples gave up all their herbs in exchange for points. Even the solo cultivators would trade their herbs for points at the Solo Cultivator Alliance. Yu Shanping and Gu Lian surrounded Gu Wei at the moment, standing at the Green Pill sect. Their faces were full of joy. Gu Wei not only came out from the Truthfall Palace and reached level 4, he actually got quite some spirit herbs. They also knew that Gu Wei didn't want to join the Green Pill sect before, so that it would be fine for them to go in. Gu Wei had to wait for the Green Pill sect disciples to exchange their items first before they could. But at this moment, Yu Shanping and Gu Lian became worried because all the cultivators on the road were looking at the two of them. This was because a stunning beauty was walking towards them. The two knew themselves and knew that with their looks and talent, there was no way the number 1 beauty of South P State, Wen Sai, would be interested in them. But she happened to be the woman walking over. She stopped in front of the trio. The two were old, but they were very nervous facing Wen Sai. They didn't dare to enjoy her beauty at all. They were scared Wen Sai would teach them a lesson. But the two thought carefully and remembered that they hadn't really looked at her or anything. "What's your name?" Unexpectedly, Wen Sai asked Gu Wei. "Solo Cultivator Gu Wei greets Martial Sister Wen." Gu Wei saluted with his fists and answered nervously. Wen Sai nodded. "There was also another person who went into the Truthfall Palace with you, right? What's he called? Why isn't he here? You guys represent the Green Pill sect, right?" Gu Wei answered carefully. "Yes, I went in together with Yi Qianbei. We were representing Han Liang Empire. Yi Qianbei's name is Yi Mo, but he unfortunately died in the Truthfall Palace. I am deeply saddened by the loss." Wen Sai frowned. "So you respect the Yi Mo a lot? Had you guys met before?" Gu Wei replied more carefully. "Yi Qianbei was generous to me. It's natural that I'm respectful to him. I didn't know Yi Qianbei before, but he took care of me on the way towards the Truthfall Palace." Gu Wei was indeed very grateful and respectful to Yi Mo for sending someone to bring the condensed soul pill before his death. The reason he had decided not to go to the Green Pill sect was so that he could go to MOU City and help it stabilize before he went somewhere else. That was Yi Mo's last wish. "You're lying," Wen Sai sneered. Gu Wei was shook. Just when he thought Wen Sai was going to look for trouble with him, another desperate, crisp voice said, "You said the person with you was Yi Mo." "He's really Yi Mo." Wen Sai was very annoyed that she was interrupted, but when she saw it was Ling Xiaoshuang, she just sneered and didn't say anything. Ling Xiaoshuang's master, Shan Bingfeng, was very protective and not scared of her infinity sect. Ling Xiaoshuang's words saved Gu Wei, and he carefully wiped his sweat before respectfully replying. "Gu Wei greets Martial Sister Ling. The person with me was really Yi Mo, but he truly has fallen in the Truthfall Palace." "How can that be?" Ling Xiaoshuang was shocked. She didn't believe the person who was soar into existence would die in the Truthfall Palace. That was impossible. "Martial Sister Xiaoshuang, you don't even know Yi Mo. Why are you so worried about him?" Wen Sai asked. Ling Xiaoshuang regained her composure and glanced casually at Wen Sai before saying, "Martial Sister Wen, I've known Yi Mo for a long time. What do you mean I do not know him?" Wen Sai looked at Ling Xiaoshuang in shock and acted as though she suddenly realized. "Oh, so Martial Sister Xiaoshuang has fallen in love." The deeper you love, the greater you hate. Ling Xiaoshuang raised her brow and was about to retaliate when Wen Tsai continued. Now I understand that Martial Sister Xiaoshuang already knew Ningxiama was Yimo, but you pretended you didn't know him at the entrance to the Forbidden Grounds. It's true. The depth of love, the height of hate. What? Ling Xiaoshuang blurted out. After her initial shock, Ling Xiaoshuang's face went red. She had never been so embarrassed before. She just said she knew Yimo for a long time, but now she was immediately busted in front of everyone. Clearly it was either that she was lying or she had a crush on Yimo. After her initial shock, Ling Xiaoshuang's face went red. She had never been so embarrassed before. She just said she knew Yimo for a long time, but now she was immediately busted in front of everyone. Clearly it was either that she was lying or she had a crush on Yimo. This made South Peace State No. 2 beauty, Ling Xiaoshuang, extremely embarrassed. She couldn't even explain it. Her face was red as a tomato, but she was also feeling very awkward. She didn't expect Ningxiama to have been Yimo. Why was the soar into existence prodigy so lecherous? Thinking about this, Ling Xiaoshuang frowned. Wen Tsai then looked at Gu Wei and asked, "According to what I know, although you and Yimo walked into the solo cultivator hall together, you've never even talked to him. How did he take care of you then?" Gu Wei's heart sunk, and he cursed himself for saying too much. Gu Wei knew that if Wen Tsai wanted to kill him, it would be as simple as crushing an insect. He gritted his teeth and saluted with his fists to Wen Tsai. "Martial Sister Wen, Yi Qianbei might have died dead, but before he died, he asked his friend Fu Rong Qianbei to give me some pills, so I'm very grateful to him." "Fu Rong," Wen Tsai murmured to herself. Then she asked with a frown, "So if he could ask someone to take things out, he didn't die suddenly?" "I don't dare to guess about that. But Fu Rong Qianbei said he was Yi Qianbei's friend." Gu Wei also felt that this Wen Tsai seemed to have some conflict with Yi Qianbei and didn't dare to say much. Wen Tsai sneered. Where did that Fu Rong go? She felt things couldn't be so coincidental. That Fu Rong happened to find the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds and became Yimo's friend. But she didn't know Fu Rong, so if she wanted to investigate Yimo, she had to investigate Fu Rong first. The reason why Yimo had said that he was Fu Rong was for Wen Tsai to investigate who Fu Rong was. Fu Rong's origin was eerie, and Yimo was sure that he wouldn't spill his roots easily. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to look for the bitter bamboo. So if Wen Tsai was to investigate Fu Rong, she wouldn't be able to much. Gu Wei said again, "Fu Rong Qianbei said he was going to level 6. He wasn't sure if he would live or die. After I came out, I didn't see Fu Rong Qianbei." Wen Tsai fell silent. She was thinking whether the two could have really been friends. Or was Fu Rong killed by Yimo, or did Yimo get killed by Fu Rong? "Show me Fu Rong's face," Wen Tsai asked after a moment. "Yes." Gu Wei soon drew an image of Fu Rong to Wen Tsai. When Wen Tsai saw this, she frowned even more because Gu Wei indeed drew Fu Rong. Yimo had a stealth chi magic artifact, and she knew about it. She also knew that the magic artifact could only change the chi, but not the face. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to recognize Yimo at the rocky beach. Wen Tsai didn't keep asking and turned around to Ling Xiaoshuang, smiling. "The martial brother Xiaoma you've known for a long time is dead. Martial sister Ling Xiaoshuang, I'll be going now. You can keep asking." Ling Xiaoshuang had calmed down completely by then and ignored Wen Tsai's words. She turned to Gu Wei and asked, "Where did Yimo come from?" "Yi Qianbei came from Mou City, and he asked Fu Rong Qianbei to deliver the message to me to look after Mou City a little," Gu Wei answered. "Mou City?" Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Gu Wei quickly explained, "Mou City is a mortal city. There's not enough spirit chi there, but Yimo Qianbei is the city lord there. He's the city lord of an ordinary mortal city. Ling Xiaoshuang felt more suspicious. Were the two Yimos two different people? Even if they were different people, a nascent soul state level 3 cultivator shouldn't be a mortal city lord. It was probably not the same person, Ling Xiaoshuang told herself. He was only golden core state not long ago. How long had it been? Yet he was supposedly a nascent soul state level 3 cultivator now. Even Yuan Guanan wouldn't be this fast. Was Yimo Yuan Guanan then? Could Yuan Guanan have activated the jade tablet of Soar into existence? Ling Xiaoshuang was confused again. Suddenly, a figure dashed across her mind. When she went to the trial tablet, one cultivator said Yimo took out a purple magic artifact. That day at Spirit Rest Tower, she saw Ning Xiaoma take out a purple kitchen knife. Was that the purple magic artifact? If this was no coincidence, then Ning Xiaoma was Yimo for sure. If Ning Xiaoma was Yimo, why did he seem like two different characters? He seemed so lustful towards her and made the female cultivator with Wu Yu cry. She asked Qingyi and Qinghan repeatedly and made sure that Yimo didn't do anything to them and had indeed helped them. Did he have two personalities, or was it really that he treated her differently from other women? Thinking about this, Ling Xiaoshuang blushed and shook her head. She felt that Yimo was purposely trying to flirt with her. Perhaps it was because she was pretty and he just wanted to flirt. But wait, Pandai wasn't less beautiful than her. Had he already gotten her? He couldn't be that fast, right? But when Yimo saw Pandai, he didn't seem to want to flirt with her or look at her lustfully. Ling Xiaoshuang shook her head. She was going to ask Pandai first. Why had she changed her views of Ning Xiaoma so drastically? She just walked one step when she stopped, however. She seemed to have grasped something. Yimo didn't try to harass her immediately when she saw him. She said he seemed familiar first, and only then did he try to flirt with her. Why did she feel he was familiar? She was sure she hadn't seen Ning Xiaoma before. At the trial tablet square, Ling Xiaoshuang's mind cleared up. She was sure that Yimo was Ning Xiaoma now. She remembered that familiar feeling. She felt Yimo's cultivation essence and qi on the trial tablet, and that's why he seemed familiar. So it really was him. Ling Xiaoshuang suddenly felt disappointed. After what her master told her, she thought that person would be a hero, yet he was a lewd guy. No wonder someone like him died in the Truthful Palace. Thank you. Ling Xiaoshuang thanked and no longer had any interest in going to Mou City. That Ning Xiaoma was a lecher, but he had some capabilities and even killed Tian Aofing. Hold on. Ling Xiaoshuang slapped her head and smiled bitterly. She suddenly felt she was very dumb. Yimo clearly flirted with her once, she said. He seemed familiar. He was scared that she would recognize him and purposely got her angry. That night, he left South Peace City secretly, meaning that he was indeed the killer of Tian Aofing, and he didn't dare to let her guess about him. If she was right, Yimo probably came from the Heartless Sea and was the Mo-ing that the Lightning Cloud sect was suspicious of. Such a smart guy. He disrupted her train of thought by flirting with her, making her go such a big circle and get so much news before she was able to think things through. In terms of wits, she was a far cry compared to Yimo. If this was said to Jing Yingli, she would understand everything in less than a minute. Realizing that Ning Xiaoma was Yimo, Ling Xiaoshuang didn't believe Yimo would die in the Truthful Palace, but she felt she needed to tell her master quickly. At the same time, she needed to go to Mou City and ask that female cultivator from the Eternity, see if she knew Yimo. Pill City was the only 10-star city and was the symbol of the South Peace State, being even more famous than South Peace City. Pill City was the only 10-star city and was the symbol of the South Peace State, being even more famous than South Peace City. You could disobey rules at other cities, but you had to obey the rules in Pill City. It was said that no one dared to be domineering in Pill City. The Truth Realization State, cultivator of the Lightning Cloud sect, had dared to lock down South P City and spread his pressure over the entire city. But he would never dare to do this at Pill City. But in the cultivation realm, no matter how strict the rules, it was still all based on power. The same was true with Pill City. If there was anyone who dared to abuse people here, it would be the pill masters in town. They had the biggest status here. Pill City wasn't close to MOU City, so Yi Mo didn't use Zisu. With his flying ship, it took nearly a month to reach. Before even going in, Yi Mo smelt a faint pill aroma. He felt the spirit chi there was many times better than ordinary places. Yi Mo's mind even became clearer. This was indeed a sacred ground for pill concoction. Yi Mo got off the flying ship 100 kilometers away. There were sky restrictions further ahead, and outside them there was a huge level 9 defense formation. There was not only an attack formation, but also another level 9 spirit gathering formation inside. No wonder the spirit chi here was so dense. Yi Mo was also sure that there had to be more than one spirit range beneath the city. There were many cultivators going in and out. What shocked Yi Mo was that there wasn't even a city guard, nor did you need to pay spirit stones to go in and out multiple times. But Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned a few subtle figures. He immediately realized that those figures were probably the cultivators surveilling in the dark. After coming in, the pill aroma was even stronger. Yi Mo was thinking, no wonder so many cultivators love this place. In this environment, cultivation would be much better than in other places. A few hollow spirit state and one body condensation state cultivator walked past Yi Mo. Yi Mo shook his head. Pill City really had hollow spirit state cultivators walking everywhere. Perhaps just this city was enough to annihilate North Far State. He was more certain about Jing Ingli saying that if he stood his ground here, no 9-star sect would dare to look for trouble with him. Yi Mo knew that Jing Ingli probably wasn't there yet. He didn't know the Pill City at all, so he needed Jing Ingli's help. Whether it was in joining Pill City or participating in the pill concoction tournament. When Yi Mo was still considering if he should find a place to sit and cultivate, a familiar figure appeared before him. When he saw that person, Yi Mo was shocked. His first reaction was to kill him, but he soon woke up, hoping that person wouldn't scan him with spirit sense. That familiar figure was Mo Shin. He was already golden core state level 9. If he just started cultivating after joining the South P State, then his speed was too shocking. Yi Mo was sure that his cultivation speed was no slower than Su Jingwen's. But Su Jingwen had a hidden spirit route. Yi Mo turned around and stood by a small roadside stall, looking at a rusty magic artifact part. If Mo Shin recognized he was Yi Mo, he would be dead for sure. Mo Shin had 2 hollow spirit state cultivators next to him right now. One was even hollow spirit state level 9. Clearly, due to Mo Shin's absurd talent, he had found a good sect to join. Yi Mo felt very bitter. Why did this bastard get such good treatment while he had to struggle to climb up the levels and have so many enemies? They have left. As Yi Mo was still thinking, the stall owner spoke out. Yi Mo just noticed the stall owner now. It was a young girl younger than 20. Her face was moderately pretty, and her eyes were very big. Her skin was just a little dark, and she was only at Foundation Establishment State Level 7. There were just some Level 2 and Level 3 herbs on her stall and a few magic artifacts. Without a doubt, her business should be very average and probably only made a sale once every few days. But she could tell that Yi Mo had conflict with Mo Shin and company. Yi Mo was surprised. He then smiled and took the magic artifact shard. "Little sister, I'll take this. How many spirit stones?" The big-eyed girl shook her head and said, "I know that magic artifact shard has no use for you. You don't need to buy it. If you offended someone, you should leave Pill City quickly." Yi Mo knew that the girl had seen through what he was thinking, and so he asked casually, "Do you know the person who just went by?" The big-eyed girl nodded. "Yeah, I do. He's the disciple of the second elder of Pil City. Pil King Chong Shun's disciple Mo Yushin." Mo Yushin. Yi Mo clenched his fists. This guy's luck was absurdly good. He had pretty much become the young master of Pil City. It didn't seem plausible for Yi Mo to rise up there anymore. Yi Mo got up and shook his head. It wasn't that Jing Yingli's idea wasn't good, but he was just too unlucky. Yi Mo thought that even if he was to leave, he would at least still wait until Jing Yingli came. Thinking about this, he asked the girl, "I want to find a secluded hotel. Would you know where I can find one?" The big-eyed girl shook her head. "Qianbei, it's your first time here, right? You won't be able to find residence here unless you know someone at Pil City. Usually, you have to order a few months in advance to get a room here." Yi Mo was stunned. So he wouldn't even be able to find a place to stay. But he can't just live on the streets for a few months, waiting for Jing Yingli, right? The girl hesitated before saying, "If Qianbei doesn't mind, you can stay at my place for a few days. I will charge a low fee." "You have a place to stay at in Pil City." Yi Mo looked at this girl in surprise. She clearly had the worst items in her stall, and her power was only at the foundation establishment state. How could she have a place to live in the city? Without a doubt, the house prices there had to be absurd. The girl heard this and seemed hurt. "It's not mine, but my grandpa left it for me. My grandpa moved to this city a long time ago as a high-level spirit pill master. 15 years ago, he brought me here too, and I've been living here ever since." Yi Mo looked at her and asked, "Your grandpa is a spirit pill master in Pil City, yet you're out here with a stall and these items." "My grandpa died 6 years ago." The girl sounded even more dejected. So that was it. Yi Mo realized that it must have been really hard for a teenage girl to sustain a living in Pil City with a stall. Most cultivators who visited here probably gave spirit stones out of sympathy. Otherwise, this girl wouldn't have lasted at all. She seemed only 17 now, so 6 years ago she was only 11. It must have been very hard for her. Luckily, this was Pil City. If this had happened somewhere else, she might have already died. Yi Mo thought of Yi Mo, and the softest spot in his heart was touched. He looked at the girl and said, "Pack up your stall and show me your place then." He had decided to help this girl. Okay. The girl happily packed her things, seeing that Yi Mo was willing to stay at her place. Yi Mo asked in confusion, "If your grandpa was a spirit pill master, how do you not even have a storage ring?" "I used it all for debt repayment," the girl said softly. "I used it all for debt repayment," the girl said softly. Yi Mo didn't ask, but he was sure the debt she was talking about had been owed by the girl's grandpa. How old was she? How could she owe that much debt? But how was her spirit pill master grandpa poor? Even if he owed debt, he shouldn't not have a storage ring. Yi Mo really couldn't understand. Yi Mo followed the girl as they spoke, and he got to understand quite some things. The girl was called Xian Jida. Her grandpa was Xian Xiangui. Xian Xiangui went outside to fight for a career. When he matured and with some fortune, he managed to become the disciple of a spirit pill master in Pil City. He then became a spirit pill master and had been living here since. 15 years ago, Xian Xiangui brought back Xian Jida, and they lived here together. She was small at the time, and all the information she knew came from Xian Xiangui. Hearing this, Yi Mo began to suspect if this girl was even Xian Xingui's granddaughter, because she had been brought by him a bit too suddenly. Of course, Yi Mo didn't think too much of it. 6 years ago, Xian Xingui died and left behind Xian Jida, who was only 11 at the time. Luckily, he left a house and some fortune for her. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask how all the fortune was used for debt repayment, Xian Jia said, "We're here." They were at an old small yard. It wasn't at the prosperous part of the Pill City, but it wasn't too distant either. There was a simple level, 3 defense and spirit sense, shielding formation. Yi Emo didn't expect the grandpa to have left her such a decent place to stay. Yi Emo nodded. This was much better than he had expected. If she had this place, then about 10 years later she might reach the Golden Core State and would then have a good future. Qianbei, please go in. Xian Jida carefully took out a jade card and opened the formation. Yi Emo followed her inside. He found there were 2 huge spirit attraction trees in the middle of the yard. It was because of these 2 trees that the small yard's spirit chi became dense. Even if she didn't go put up stalls, she should be able to cultivate here. There were 6 rooms in this yard. Yi Emo scanned with his spirit sense and found that there were people in the other rooms. Did Xian Jida rely on rent to earn spirit stones? If that was the case, she didn't need to go set up stalls. But there was only 1 room left. If she rented that to him, where was she going to stay? Xian Jida pointed Yi Emo to the smallest room and said, Qianbei, you can stay here. Yi Emo looked at her in confusion. This is the last room. Where are you going to stay? Xian Jida didn't expect Yi Emo to have already scanned with spirit sense, and she blushed before saying, I'll be staying in the yard at night. Yi Emo frowned. Clearly, Xian Jida was letting him rest in the place she was supposed to sleep. If he couldn't find a place to stay, he could go outside the city. He didn't need to take over Xian Jida's room. Seeing Yi Emo frown, Xian Jida began to worry. She looked at Yi Emo nervously, worried that he would refuse her deal. She could tell Yi Emo was a nice person who was being kind to her. Otherwise, he wouldn't have wanted to buy her magic artifact shard. Yi Emo thought for a moment and asked, Jida, did your grandpa leave you this yard? Xian Jida nodded and looked at Yi Emo in confusion. Yes, my grandpa left this for me. Since you have 5 rooms rented out already, why are you still opening a street stall? Yi Emo asked. Xian Jida looked down and said, Those rooms aren't rented out. Grandpa owed people, so they have been taken over by them. If I don't pay the debt within 10 years, they will completely own the place. It's been 6 years already, and I've used all the spirit stones I earned to pay debts. How many spirit stones did your grandpa owe? Yi Emo asked. This is a long story. Xian Jida sighed and looked at the other rooms with some concern. Yi Emo also felt a few spirit senses skin over. The highest was Golden Core State level 5 and the lowest was Golden Core State level 1. Okay, then come talk to me in the room. Yi Emo took Xian Jida inside the room and set up a restriction. The spirit senses immediately couldn't scan inside anymore. The owners of those spirit senses seemed to know a powerful person was there and quickly withdrew their senses, not daring to keep scanning. Xian Jida saw Yi Emo casually set up a powerful restriction that was even more powerful than the restriction in the yard, and she looked at Yi Emo with surprise. Yi Emo seemed much stronger than she had thought. Can you tell me? Yi Emo asked. Xian Jida nodded. Yi Emo gave her an amicable feeling and didn't look down on her because of his power. 6 years ago, my grandpa's friend came and found him saying he found an ancient ruin at Great Zhou Mountain. My grandpa didn't think much of it and organized a few friends to go there. But after a few days, he and his friends came back. Then my grandpa started gathering spirit stones everywhere. He used these spirit stones to buy a lot of magic artifacts and herbs in Pill City and made more pills before leaving Pill City again. Xian said. Yi Emo thought that the cultivators here had taken over Xian Jida's house by force, but now it really seemed that her grandpa owed large sums of money. Xian Jida was naive and never thought about whether someone might have been scheming against her grandpa and said, After my grandpa left, he never came back, and the friends he went with never came back either. Yi Emo nodded and asked, Who are the people living here? The people who asked my grandpa for pill concoction. He was borrowing spirit stones everywhere, and they all lent my grandpa spirit stones. Some people were grateful that my grandpa concocted pills for them, so they didn't ask for repayment. But some people asked me for repayment, and since I didn't have spirit stones, I could only pledge the house, she replied. How much do you owe these people? 700,000 in total. Yi Mo was speechless. He knew that people usually talked about top-grade spirit stones in South P State. 700,000 top-grade spirit stones were nothing to him, but for Exayanjita, that was something she could never earn back, even if she opened street stalls for her entire life. Where is Great Zhou Mountain? Which ancient ruin did your grandpa go to? Yi Mo felt that something was fishy about the mountain. Exayanjita shook her head. I don't know. I've never been outside Pill City. When my grandpa left, he said he would come back for sure. He told me to not leave Pill City to find him before he returned. But I heard him and his friends discuss about some Herb King spirit range. Spirit range? Would this Herb King spirit range be an ordinary spirit range? The bitter bamboo needed a spirit range, so if it was a spirit range, then he really wanted to go see this Great Zhou Mountain. Jida, do you know pill concoction? Yi Mo thought that she should know at least something about pill concoction if her grandpa was a pill master. But Exayanjita shook her head. I don't. My grandpa never taught me pill concoction. Yi Mo didn't think much of it. A lot of pill masters and pill kings didn't want their descendants to concoct pills. It wasted too much time and the cost was too high. Usually, pill masters weren't very strong as they wasted a lot of time in pill concoction. But of course, there were some geniuses who not only excelled in pill concoction, but were also powerful. What spirit root do you have? Yi Mo was interested in taking Exayanjita in as his disciple. I have a water, wood, and metal spirit root, Exayanjita replied. Her spirit root wasn't very good, and it wasn't suitable for pill concoction, but Yi Mo didn't mind. His pill concoction didn't have strict requirements for the spirit root. Besides, he had 2 water-type flames. He could give one to her if she accomplished something. Thinking about this, Yi Mo said, Actually, I'm a pill master myself. Because you remind me of someone close to me, I want to take you in as my disciple. Tell me, would you be willing? Huh. Is Qianbei here for the Pill King tournament? Exayanjita immediately knelt down and said, Jidan is willing to serve Qianbei as master. Originally taking in Exayanjita as his disciple was an impromptu idea, but when Exayanjita actually knelt down for the customary act of entering discipleship, Yi Mo suddenly had a feeling of satisfaction. He felt that he had made the right decision. Originally taking in Exayanjita as his disciple was an impromptu idea, but when Exayanjita actually knelt down for the customary act of entering discipleship, Yi Mo suddenly had a feeling of satisfaction. He felt that he had made the right decision. Yi Mo pulled Exayanjita's hand and said, My real name is Yi Mo, but I have some enemies at the moment, so if anyone asks my name, just say my name is Luo Xiaomo. Yi Mo knew that the Lightning Cloud sect was suspicious of Moing, and Ning Xiaoma had also had too much exposure at the Truthfall Palace, so he made another name, Luo Xiaomo. But Yi Mo was quite speechless. When would he finally be able to use his own name without hiding? Exayanjita was a bit confused, but she didn't ask much. She felt she suddenly gained a lot when she got a master. Before, she was just working in an endless cycle of earning spirit stones and paying debt every day. She didn't have any family or friends, nor did she have some high goal. The only thought she had in her mind was to pay back all the debt. Master, did you come to Pill City for the Pill King tournament in 3 months? Are you a Pill King? Exayanjita didn't forget to ask her question again. Although she wished Yi Mo was a Pill King, she knew that even with her grandpa's age, he hadn't become a Pill King. Her master would probably just be a spirit pill master. Yi Mo smiled. Do you have high anticipations for the Pill King tournament? Exayanjita nodded. My grandpa worked his entire life to go to the Pill King tournament, yet when he passed away, he was only a level 7 spirit pill master. There was still a long road before he could become a Pill King. Grandpa said he might never become a Pill King his entire life, and he said my talent wasn't suitable for pill concoction. I didn't need to continue his path. In fact, in the North Far State, a level 7 spirit pill master had rather high status. But in the South P State, and especially in Pill City, it was nothing. I will talk about the Pill King tournament later. Let's send off the people in these rooms first, EMO said. Master, the tenants are here because I owe them money. You can't send them away, Exanjita immediately said. This was Pill City. If Pill City was the kind of place where anyone dared to harass and abuse people as they wished, she would have been forced out of the city and lost her life already. Those people took over her yard, but they didn't do it forcibly. It was because she owed them spirit stones. Yemo waved his hand. You don't need to worry about that. Just listen to me. Gather the people here. Yemo stood in the yard, waiting for all the tenants, but a while later Exanjita only brought 2 people out. One person's face was already full of impatience. If he hadn't recognized Yemo's power, he would have gotten in a rage already. The other person just scanned Yemo and looked coldly at Exanjita. Exan girl, our time is limited. If you have something to say, then hurry up. You still haven't paid up the spirit stones for this month, and I haven't even had the time to ask you. Exanjita's face went red as she looked down and said, Sorry, Weichinbei, my master has business with you guys. Your master? The 2 studied Yemo and waited for him to start speaking. They could tell Yemo was stronger than them. But so what? This was Pill City. Yemo scanned with the other 3 people with a spirit sense and suddenly sneered as he sent 3 piercing waves of spirit sense over. The 3 who didn't come out immediately spat blood and had a pale face. They finally realized that the person who had come was a master amongst masters, and they didn't dare to stay in the room anymore. They all ran out as they looked at Yemo with some degree of concern. This was only because Yemo had used the lightest spirit sense pike. Now that his purple eye soul sever ability was at level 3, he could use the spirit sense sword freely. If he used that, the 3 would either die or go crazy instantaneously. Seeing Yemo's dominance, the 2 who came first began to worry. Although Pill City had strict rules, if he killed them first and thought things through later, even if he got punished, they would still be dead. This yard was left behind by Exanjita's grandpa to her. Are you guys not paying rent and staying here just because you're stronger than her while you're asking for her to pay spirit stones? Yemo glared coldly at them. The cultivator called Wei stepped forward and saluted with his fists. Qianbei, although you're Exanjita's master, you can't be unreasonable in Pill City. We're living here, but it's not that we want to. It's because Exanjita owes us spirit stones and she can't afford to pay it. That's why we gave up the homes we lived in before and came here. Yemo laughed. So, according to your words, you're doing this for the benefit of Exanjita? That's right. The cultivator seemed certain that Yemo wouldn't dare do anything to them. Very well. Unexpectedly, Yemo wasn't angry. He scanned the yard and suddenly said, How many spirit stones does Exanjita owe you? The cultivator called Wei was ready to make a ruckus if Yemo showed signs of attacking to kill them. But to his surprise, Yemo did not try to force a fight. He immediately realized that Yemo was just acting tough and didn't dare do anything in Pill City. Thinking about this, his voice grew loud as he replied, She owes me 140k spirit stones. Yemo could tell what they were thinking from their tone, but he didn't say anything about it. He asked, Would you guys leave immediately if Exanjita gave back the spirit stones? Of course. I, Wei Wuya, am a man of my word. How can I seize someone else's land? Even if I were willing to do that, the city guards would immediately annihilate me, the cultivator called Wei said, as though he were some upright person. Yi Mo pretended he didn't notice this and continued asking, I won't ask about cultivation homes, but how long does it cost to stay in a middle-grade hotel in Pill City for a year? About 150K spirit stones, but this place can't compare with a hotel. That Wei cultivator clearly knew where Yi Mo was heading. Yi Mo sneered and asked again, Then how much would it cost to rent a room like this in Pill City for a year? About 20 to 30K spirit stones. The cultivator called Wei was beginning to sweat. Yi Mo sneered. I don't need to ask to know. It's more than 20 to 30K spirit stones. But I'll just count it as 30K spirit stones. Okay, let me ask you now, how long have you been living here? 6 years. The Wei cultivator's tone was getting shaky. 6 years, very well. I'll count it as 30K spirit stones a year. How much spirit stones do you need to pay Xin Jida for 6 years? Yi Mo's tone went cold as he scanned the people there. You're not only ungrateful to Jida for letting you stay here for 6 years, you instead even ask spirit stones from her every day. Do you not take me seriously, or do you not take the rules of Pill City seriously? Merely at the Golden Core State, do you think you're powerful? Then, Yi Mo suddenly sneered as the weakest one of the group even spat blood. Yi Mo then said more seriously, I heard Jida say that you guys were even planning on taking this yard in 10 years. If this isn't abusing low-level cultivators, what is? Do I need to call the city guards over and let you guys explain yourselves? The cultivators' faces immediately changed. They knew that they had indeed been abusing low-level cultivators. Qianbei, Wanbei has been in cultivation and forgot that Sister Jida already paid me back everything. The bald cultivator reacted the quickest and immediately went to pack his things and leave. Leave behind the letter of debt. Yi Mo didn't know if there was at first, but he now knew that the cultivator did have a spirit sense jade slip on him. The rest all quickly did the same and left the yard. Master, is this okay? Xin Jida didn't expect them to leave after a few words. Xin Jida patted her chest. If I had known, I would have used this way already. Yet I was stupid enough to earn spirit stones for them every day. Yi Mo sighed. I can use this way, but you can't. Do you think they didn't know how much spirit stones it saved them to live here? They were abusing the fact that you didn't have anyone to help you. You need to remember this. If you want people to reason with you, you need to have strong power. If you don't have power, you have no right to reason. Xin Jida nodded. Yi Mo thought that those Golden Core State cultivators whom he had kicked away would come back looking for trouble, as they'd been living in Pill City for a long time. However, he waited nearly a week and none of them came back. Yi Mo thought that those Golden Core State cultivators whom he had kicked away would come back looking for trouble, as they'd been living in Pill City for a long time. However, he waited nearly a week and none of them came back. Yi Mo soon upgraded the formation in the yard to level 5, but didn't dare to set up a spirit gathering formation. There were already 2 spirit attraction trees here. If he set up another spirit gathering formation, it would make a bad impression on the cultivators around. In the following days, Yi Mo kept cultivating while teaching Xin Jida pill concoction. He even changed her cultivation method. Before Jing Inli came, Yi Mo didn't go out to wander the streets. His power was too weak. If he met that Mo Yu Shin, he might not even be able to leave Pill City. 2 months passed quickly. Xin Jida could already concoct simple mortal-level pills by herself. With Yi Mo's modified cultivation method and large amounts of spirit stones and pills, she also reached Foundation Establishment State Level 8. With those 2 months passing, Yi Mo, who was stuck at Nascent Soul State level, also broke through to Nascent Soul State Level 5. There was still a month left before the Pill King tournament, when Yi Mo received Jing Inli's message. She was in Pill City. Jing Inli came to Xin Jida's place, and Yi Mo introduced Xin Jida to her. telling Jingli that Xanjida was his new disciple. Xanjida looked at Jingli in surprise. She thought that Jingli would be no ordinary female cultivator for her master to take her seriously. But she really couldn't find anything to compliment about Jingli's looks. They were far worse than hers. Xanjida knew that she was at most not bad-looking, but she didn't expect Jingli to not even be as good-looking as her. Jingli was also shocked. Xanjida's talent was ordinary, yet Yemo was interested in her. She really didn't understand. She knew that if someone like Yemo were to announce that he was taking in disciples, all the prodigies in Luo Yu continent would want to come under him. And cultivators usually cared a lot about their cultivation heritage. They would pick meticulously, but Yemo took an Xanjida who was ordinary in both looks and talent. If Yemo said he would take her in as a disciple, even she would be willing. Jingli could only sigh about Xanjida's luck. Cultivators needed luck indeed. Sometimes a prodigy who didn't have a good master would become ordinary too. Yemo didn't think that much about taking in disciples. He felt Xanjida was suitable to be his disciple, and he missed Yemo, so he took her in. Jingli was very smart, so Yemo told her about Mo Yushin. What? You also offended Pil King Changshan's disciple Mo Yushin. Jingli was speechless. This guy really knew how to cause trouble. But luckily his opponents didn't know it was him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to make it through no matter what. If there's no way to join the Pil King tournament, I will take Xanjida back to MOU City, Yemo said. Jingli thought for a while before saying, I know that Mo Yushin. He's Pil King Changshan's personal disciple. He's only been here for about 4 to 5 years, and I heard his talent isn't bad, but it's nothing special. No matter how good he is, he couldn't be much better than me. Even I wouldn't be able to reach Golden Core State, level 9 in 4 to 5 years. Yemo nodded. Mo Yushin clearly had some very precious spirit item, and Jingli paused for a moment. There's all too many people in the South Peace State with better talent than Mo Yushin, but even they don't cultivate as fast as Mo Yushin. Why is he so fast, Sister Ingli? Xanjida asked. Jingli said, It's probably because he didn't care about his foundation at all, or he has another way to solve it. Mo Yushin started cultivation at a later age, and he must have used some powerful spirit herb to forcefully establish his foundation and form his golden core. That's fast, but there's no foundation to it at all. He has no higher future. Yemo immediately understood what Jingli meant. If one pursued solely speed in cultivation, it would result in a weak foundation and your mental state not keeping up. But with the bitter bamboo, it was different. No matter how fast he cultivated, his mental state would be able to keep up. Yemo didn't believe that Mo Yushin had the bitter bamboo, so him having another way to solve the problem of a weak foundation was unlikely. Although he was at Golden Core State level 9 now, if he wanted to reach a higher level, he would have to wait at least 100 years. Otherwise, even if he forced forming a nascent soul, his future would be troublesome. Yemo was confused too now. Pil King Changshan surely knew this too. So if that was the case, why did he take Mo Yushin so seriously and let him rush to Golden Core State level 9 in the first place? He really didn't believe Mo Yushin could have the bitter bamboo like him. This was only a legend in the cultivation realm. Yemo wasn't sure if there was an immortal realm, but this probably didn't even exist there. Moreover, it was said that there was only one of each of the 10 great spirit items. Since he had the bitter bamboo, there wouldn't be a second one. Xanjida was confused, so Jingli explained. The pills and herbs that forcefully bring up your power are very precious. Even 9-star sects have very little. If they used it on a core disciple, any one of them could reach the nascent soul state in a short time. But no sect does this, fearing it will result in an unstable foundation. Jingli then said to Yemo, Brother Yi, that Mo Yushin is just an outsider. But since Pil King Chang shunned him in as a personal disciple, why is he still doing this? There's only two explanations. One is that Mo Yushin is very close to him and the Pil King has a way to stabilize his foundation. The second, she didn't say it out loud, but Yi Mo knew that she meant the Pil King might have other plans for Mo Yushin. Jing Yingli said, if that's the case, Mo Yushin is only famous in Pil City due to Pil King Changshan's name. Other Pil Kings and city lord managers won't take him very seriously. Pil King Changshan is at most a judge in the Pil King tournament. There's nearly 10 Pil Kings in Pil City who are more powerful than him. Yi Mo nodded. Jing Yingli was saying that even if Mo Yushin recognized him, he wouldn't be able to intervene. Even Pil King Changshan might not be able to stop him, much less Mo Yushin. But there was something Jing Yingli didn't say, and that was that Yi Mo had to achieve a good result in the tournament. Otherwise, he could harm him. But Yi Mo understood this too. Okay, thank you, Martial Sister Jingli, for enlightening me. It was easier for Jing Yingli to see this, since she could look at it from a third-person perspective. Jing Yingli smiled. I heard he's not in Pil City right now. I heard people say that Pil King Changshan went with him to the Golden Sword sect to propose to Xiao Shireen. Yi Mo fell silent. From this, he could see how protective Pil King Changshan was of Mo Yushin. But he soon got up and said to Jing Yingli, Martial Sister Yingli, please take me to the signing up location. Jing Yingli nodded and got up. It won't be easy to sign up for the Pil King tournament. You probably don't have the title of Pil King, so I'll take you to see someone now. It's a qianbei of mine. Jing Yingli continued saying, you must have the title of at least a level 7 or above Spirit Pil Master, yet you don't even have a level 7 Spirit Pil Master title, much less a Pil King title. How can you sign up? Jing Yingli continued saying, you must have the title of at least a level 7 or above Spirit Pil Master, yet you don't even have a level 7 Spirit Pil Master title, much less a Pil King title. How can you sign up? My master is a Pil King, though, Xayada immediately said. Xayada was most proud of the fact that her master was a Pil King. But then Xayada immediately realized that just her knowing that her master was a Pil King wasn't enough. Pil City had to recognize it. Only those recognized by Pil City were real Pil Kings, and only those who could participate in the Pil King tournament. Jing Yingli didn't keep explaining, seeing that Xayada had understood. Okay. Yi Mo knew that that was required. Jing Yingli could tell that Yi Mo didn't really care about the Pil King tournament. He was participating simply to get a powerful identity. She was worried that if Yi Mo didn't take it seriously, he wouldn't use all of his skills. She thought for a moment before saying to Yi Mo, if you can get into the top 3, then even if you end up in a fight with Mo Yushin, you won't need to worry. Usually, the top 3 of every tournament would either be invited to become an elder or paid guest somewhere. For example, Mo Yushin's master came in 3rd in the tournament 50 years ago. Yi Mo thought for a moment and said, if it's just top 3, then I should be fine. Yi Mo wasn't bluffing. His pill concoction method came from the 3-birth chant. It was in accordance with the laws of the universe and the derivation of the 5 elements. Plus, he was a level 4 Pil King at the moment already, about the same level as that Pil King Changshan. He believed he wouldn't owe to anyone. Other people might need a few hundred to 1,000 years to reach level 5 from level 4, but he could potentially just need 1 night. This was the power of the 3-birth chant. Jing Yingli also believed in Yi Mo, which was precisely why she was persuading Yi Mo that if he couldn't get a top 3 spot, it would harm him to join this tournament. She smiled. If you get top 3, then even if you expose the heaven flame, no one would dare to do anything to you in Pil City. Furthermore, if you were to become famous in Pil City and became a higher up of the city, it would be very easy for you to walk around South Peace State. Everyone would have to greet you as Pill King. If you were to need a herb, just saying one word would have people bring it to you. This status is better than that of a 7-star sect leader. Yemo gasped. He didn't think there would be this many benefits to being a Pill King of Pill City. But he knew that no matter how good he was at pill concoction, he was only at the nascent soul state, so he didn't dare to expose the heaven flame. Yemo didn't intend to expose the heaven flame before reaching the body condensation state. Jing Yingli said, "Even if you don't get any rank in the tournament, as long as you get the Pill King title from Pill City, there will be countless people sucking up to you. The only concern is that if you don't get a rank, it will be very easy for Pill King Changshan to cause you trouble." "I understand. Please take me to that Qianbei." Yemo nodded. Yemo thought that the person who would be able to help him sign up would have some status and be living at the center of the city, but Jing Yingli took him around and stopped when they were almost at the corner of the city. They arrived at a very tattered forgery shop where an old man was making a middle-grade magic artifact. He seemed very focused. Yemo really couldn't understand how a shop like this could earn money. "Grandpa Lu, Wanbei Jing Yingli greets you." Jing Yingli was very respectful to the old man and bowed. Yemo dazed. Was this the person Jing Yingli was asking for help? He quickly used his spirit sense to check the old man's power, but he found he couldn't see anything at all. He was immediately shocked. Yemo was at nascent soul state level 4 and had even been able to vaguely discern the power level of those 2 truth realization state cultivators, but facing this old man, he couldn't see his power at all. Didn't that mean this old man was at least at the truth realization state of power? "Little girl, why did you come to me again?" The old man didn't seem very interested in Jing Yingli, but then scanned Yemo once, clearly knowing that Yemo had scanned him with his spirit sense. "Wanbei Yemo greets Qianbei." Yemo quickly bowed. The old man nodded at Yemo and then said to Jing Yingli, "Tell me, what are you going to trouble me with again?" Jing Yingli took a long gasp of relief hearing this and said, "Grandpa Lu, this is my friend Yemo. He wants to join the Pill King tournament, but his pill concoction skills haven't been recognized by Pill City yet. According to normal procedures, he would have to wait until after the tournament, so you want me to get him a Pill King title and help him sign up?" the old man said in contempt. Jing Yingli was very calm. "Yes, Grandpa Lu," Wanbei brought Auntie Yan's letter. Yemo thought that this old man might not help him based on his tone, but hearing Jing Yingli's words, he was curious who this Auntie Yan was. The old man suddenly waved his hand. "I'm not your Grandpa Lu, and you don't need to mention that, but—" The old man suddenly looked at Yemo and said, "You have quite a future ahead of you, so will you give some face? You're Yemo, right? Take this jade card and give it to the pill association people. Just say what you need." Then he gave a blue jade card to Yemo. "You can keep this as a souvenir. Yemo, remember you owe me one. I'm not helping because of this girl, Jing Yingli. I'm helping because you asked me. Okay, go now. Don't waste my forgery time." Jing Yingli and Yemo looked at each other, unsure of the situation. But Jing Yingli quickly pulled Yemo and bowed to the old man before leaving. Jing Yingli still felt awkward after a while. She had brought a letter to help Yemo, but Yemo didn't even need her help. "This is the first time I've seen this old man, so I don't know why he's helping me," Yemo said before Jing Yingli could ask. He didn't feel very happy about this Lu Qianbei's goodwill. In Yemo's view, those who offered to help for no reason always had some motive. Lu Qianbei's doesn't do things normally. Don't think too much about it. "Let's go solve the problem at the Pill Association first," Jing Yingli persuaded. "Who is he?" Yemo asked. Jing Yingli said with respect, "Lu Qianbei's status in Pill City wouldn't be lower than the #1 pill masters. He has another title, Forgery God Lu. He's a level 9 forgery Grandmaster. The #1 person in South P State when it comes to forgery. Other than some higher-ups of Pill City, rarely anyone knows he lives there. He's a level 9 forgery grandmaster. Yi Emo was shocked. When he went, the old man was forging a middle-grade magic artifact. Jing Yingli smiled. Did you think he was an ordinary forgery master because you saw him forging that magic artifact? If you knew what materials he was using, you wouldn't think like that. What materials? Yi Emo subconsciously asked. Lu Qianbei is using materials he picked up from the side of the road. These materials have no levels or use to cultivators. A block of earth, a rock, some grass, he can use all of it. Yi Emo took a breath in. He could concoct magic artifacts with anything? This was absurd. Even though he was a level 4 pill king, he couldn't concoct mortal-grade pills with weed. You were planning to take me to Lu Qianbei for forgery? Yi Emo remembered what Jing Yingli said before. Jing Yingli shook her head. Don't think about it. I'm taking you to another person now. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.